check. I don't have me or you. There I am. No, it's gone. Check. I don't have me. I need me and you.
How about that?
Check. I got you just a little bit. Go ahead.
Yeah.
A little bit. I could use... There.
Sorry. There. Did I get you now?
That was the music. Music killed me.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, there you are.
You got us now?
I don't have me, though, Josh. I don't have any of me.
All right, we're going to figure out a couple audio spots here. Mosh, can you hear yourself now?
I can hear me now. Yeah.
You got Paul.
Paul.
You got you now?
I got me now.
You got you now?
And Paul killed Jadis. Ta-da!
Ta-da! Do you have me?
Cody, I got you.
You got me?
I got you.
Hey. All right, well, I guess it's time to kick off this episode then of Raiders Fan Radio. Episode 248, Mosh.
248.
Jackpot, baby. Raiders Fan Radio.
Oakland, LA, Oakland, Vegas, Raider Nation, wherever, forever. You got your old Uncle Mosh and Raiders Fan Radio from Murph's Man Cave, taking a lighter journey into the dark side. Sit back, put your feet up, pop a top, and enjoy the ride. Here we go!
Look left, look right, collecting hot, a leaping hot, touchdown!
We miss you, we love you, and we'll see you in the Hall of Fame.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Way up the middle, intercepted Filipiano at the 50, high running down, Oakland football, and I think Oakland victory.
The Raiders have scored on the most zany, unbelievable, absolutely impossible dream of a play.
Well, I love this team. I think this team can win.
You are listening live to Raiders Fan Radio, hosted by Murph, Uncle Mosh, and Swag Jeff. Take it away, guys.
Why, thank you, Brent Musburger. What is up, Raider Nation? Your buddy Murph back once again for what we trust will be a fantastic episode of Raiders Fan Radio, episode number 248 of Raiders Fan Radio, coming to you live from the palatial Murph's Fan Cave Studios, as the kids call it, here in my bonus room otherwise. But we appreciate you joining us here for this episode. We've got a ton to get to because, you know, Mosh, when we don't do a show for a couple weeks, then we typically end up having these like marathon shows because we got so much to talk about and we've got so much to give away tonight. So can't wait to jump into this episode with you. And thank you to everybody that is joining us live across all of the different podcast platforms, whether that be Stitcher, iTunes, or it's not iTunes, it's Apple Podcasts nowadays. It's Google Podcast. It's Spotify. It's Pandora. You can ask your Alexa. You can pretty much anywhere you can find a podcast, you can find your buddies here at Raiders Fan Radio. So appreciate you doing that and listening to us that way. Also appreciate everybody on the fan-sided or Just Blog Baby websites where you can find our show because we are the official Raiders show of Just Blog Baby. And I appreciate all of you that have joined us there and appreciate all of our partners there at Fan-sided and all the amazing, cool things they do for us here at Raiders Fan Radio. And then last but not least, thank you to the YouTubes.
America, go to the YouTube right now.
We appreciate everybody on the YouTubes at youtube.com/Raiders Fan Radio, where we have the absolute best chat room and best community there is in all of sports, let alone Raider Nation. And we appreciate everybody in there tonight in that chat room. Cody Thompson is in there. Bugsy Raider. Killed Jadis is in there. Kevin the Raider Nerd is in there. Paul is in there. John Ogle is in there. Robert Pena. I'm going to butcher your name, but I'm going to try it, brother. Nacion Asalante is in there. Jesse Cardenas is in there. Robert Pena is in there. Lalo Maloso is in there. Raiders Gears and Threads, that's our buddy Jay, is in there. So many of our good friends. G Mua is in there. Big Shane is in there. So many cool folks in there, and we appreciate you very much for joining us tonight. All right, so my name is Murph, and I'm the host of this little thing, but I don't do this show alone, and I have the absolute best co-host there is in the business, especially when my best friend Swag Jeff, who is not here, the man that adorns the Southern Annex of the Murph Man Cave desk. Let's give it up for the legend, Uncle Mosh. What's up, Uncle Mosh?
Good night, everybody. You've been listening to Raiders Fan Radio, where we bring a lighter side journey into the...
Why are you playing yourself out already?
I'm playing the outro music just to be silly.
Oh, I'm like, wow, we're done already?
Here at the top of the show.
Top of the show.
Okay. Somebody said, the blue. The blue.
We got a lot of blue going on tonight.
The blue is because... Obviously, the blue for you is because, hey, the Warriors
Let's go. Let's
Warriors,
go.
Yeah.
6th time in 8 years tonight, baby. Let's go.
We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But, hey, I'm wearing the blue because I gave up the rid today.
Oh,
I went and did a little bit of blood donation today. It's the time. Get a hold of your American Red Cross. There's a million churches. There's a million organizations today in our local municipality where I work at the event center where I'm at. They were having a little contest between the police department, the firemen, and the first responders. And you go in there and you say, hey, who you want, and kind of a thing. And it's a time-consuming thing, but it's worth it. There's no substitute for it. So it has to be done. And I'm proud to do it.
Right
and I've been
on.
giving blood for years and years and years. And it's not something that I do for accolades. It's just something that needs to be done.
Right on, Uncle Mosh.
So
Much
there you
respect.
go.
Much respect.
Thank you.
And appreciate you bringing awareness to that, including myself. Shame on me.
We just never talked about it.
Never talked about it. And then when I saw your shirt tonight and we talked about it, I'm like, well, I'm going to go do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
a thing.
Absolutely. So good stuff there. Appreciate you, Uncle Mosh. So as I mentioned, Swag Jeff is not here today, but taking the place of Swag Jeff is a signed Hunter Renfrow helmet. Oh, and we're going to give that away soon. Not tonight. We're going to give that away in the coming weeks, which we will gladly tell you all about. But appreciate Jeff, of course, who is the Sultan of Swag, of course, in helping us secure a lot of amazing items that we are going to give away tonight. And anyway, and we're going to talk about that soon. How about a little teaser, though? We'll give you a little teaser. Here's a couple mini helmets there. Shane Leckler.
Yeah, it's the Blue Night of the Minis. The Blue Night of the Minis.
Nice.
Hey.
Little Shane Leckler, a little Sebastian Janikowski. We're going to give away some cool stuff because that's what we do in the Summer Swag, where 100% of the money that we raise goes to amazing Raiders charities like the Bolitnikoff Foundation. But Mosh, before we get to all that,
Come on.
we got a little tradition around here.
I gotta hear it.
We take our episode number and we tie it back to something significant within Raider Nation. Now, normally Jeff does this, but Jeff he's actually on vacation with his lovely wife, Chris. So anyway, he missed a show this week, but in his absence, it's then came to me. So I'm going to take the episode number and tie it back to something significant.
I thought he had a protege. I thought he had a rookie. I thought he had a probie.
He's got an assistant to the general manager of the episode number, but Tom did not send us anything. So came down to me.
Tom.
All right.
T-Hom.
So, but Mosh, I'll never miss an opportunity to talk too much.
No.
So I'm not just going to give you our episode number and tie it back to something significant within Raider Nation.
Yeah.
I'm going to tie it back to something significant within Raider Nation. Then I'm going to tie what's significant within Raider Nation back to something significant within the history of Raider Nation.
Oh.
We're going deep. This is the Lord of the Rings extended version. You're not talking about the 90-minute version you get on TNT. We're diving into 3.5 hours of Peter Jackson, baby. Let's go. I don't know.
You're so stupid.
Yes, I am. Okay, so number 248. So what would possibly be significant about the number 248 within Raider
Tell
Nation?
me.
Mosh, in 1972, you know what significant happened in 1972 to the Raiders? Of course you do.
Absolutely, I was there.
For the Immaculate Deception. That's when, of course, the Raiders got jobbed for the biggest time in history, and if not for Rob Lytle's fumble, maybe. But anyways, one of the first times we got jobbed in history. That happened in 1972 when we lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers in the divisional round. Now, that year, Uncle Mosh, the Raiders scored 365 points. Okay,
Wow.
14-game season. They scored 365 points.
That's 1 point a day for the year.
What? Oh, nicely done.
Yeah, thank you.
Nicely done. Do you know how many points they had scored against them that year?
248.
Hey, let's go. Let's go. 248, 1972. Now, Why is that significant? Well, it's sort of significant because it's tied to a team stat throughout history. But here's what's interesting, and here's where I had to go Murph's black hole of the internet on this
Ooh,
thing.
come on.
Because I don't like to dive in a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. The point differential between I don't do math. I hate math, but I love numbers.
Hate math.
But if you look at the math and you do some simple subtraction, you can even if I could spell that. 365 minus 248, Mosh, is 117. So their positive point differential for the season was 117. That's good for top 10 all time in Raiders history.
No way.
Including tying the in 1973, the next year, at 117. The best ever point differential for the Raiders was 235 and 220 in 1967 and 1968, respectively, when, of course, the Mad Bomber was chucking them deep to Warren Wells and Freddie Biletnikoff. Amazing story there. When you look at the Raiders' most successful seasons, they had the largest point differential. So when you look at, so I've mentioned the first two. In the year 2000, it was 180. And these are all positive numbers. In the year 2002, it was 146. When you look at all the years when we had incredible success, we had massive point differentials. Now, what's the alternative to that? What years did we struggle? Do you know, Uncle Mosh?
Most of them.
Most of them. The last time, since John Gruden was there the first time, the last time we had a positive point differential, I'll give you one guess on what year it was.
12.
Close. 16.
Okay.
Right? That was the year Derek Carr got hurt.
Oh, yeah.
So that was the last time. So when you look at the point differential, we've gone negative 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, and 14. And 16 we had the 30. It was 31 positive in point differential. Everything else has been negative all the way to go back in 2010. We had a positive to 39, and that's it. Since 2002, 2 years.
Wow.
We've only had positive point differentials. We've always been at the back end of this thing. So is that any indicator of the success in the NFL? It seems like it to me, and it really jumped out when I saw that 248. So let's hope that the Raiders return to form, that we have a positive point differential, preferably above 100, because the 3 times that we've won the Super Bowl, 2 of the times we won the Super Bowl, we had a positive point differential over 100. The only one was the wild card year because we had an 11-5 season, but we struggled for part of that.
Right.
So it was only 58. But anyways, but point being, so there you go. It's probably everything you ever wanted to know about damn point differential.
You're stupid.
This is so stupid. All right, Uncle Mosh. Shout out the chat room one time, and then let's go to contact info.
Wow, we're going to start off the chat room right off the bat. Q-Dog jumping in there. He said, the Avengers have a Hulk, but RFR has a Mosh.
Hey, let's go.
LFG Nation. He's in there. Cody Thompson, Kill Jadis, Robert Pena, Paul Egerton, Swaggy Jeff. Let's go, baby.
Swaggo?
Yeah. What'd I say? Kill Jadis. I can't scroll up. I got too many things going on over here. Let's see. He's gonna ITK. Jimois.
I love. Paul says, "Run that by me again, Murph." I couldn't, Paul. If I tried my best, I couldn't do that again.
You hadn't done one of those where we lost you when you started talking in the first 6 words. The wall went up and we all went, It was like being an intro to algebra for my 4th time. It was like, come on.
It's like an HR presentation from work.
HR presentation, that's a PowerPoint.
Yeah.
Where they've gone in and put the little blank over the year. You know, in 1973, 96, you know.
Oh, my gosh. All right, hit some contact info, Mosh, and let's get on with the show.
This is Raiders Fan Radio. I'm Brent Musburger, and I don't care who wins as long as it's the Raiders.
I feel bad for anybody that had headphones on for that one, including us. Just blew out the old eardrums there, man. I got a new board here in the fan cave. We got some new toys. We got a new camera. We got a couple new things here. So, anyways, I apologize for that if I blew out your eardrums.
Big Shane says, "Hey, Mosh, you remember the San Jose Speedway?
Well, yeah, the one across from Eastridge Mall. Yeah, or the fairgrounds where they used to have the
sprint cars.
And they'd have the mile, the San Jose mile out there. You know, oh man, back in the day, absolutely. So at my dad's house, I could hear the sprint cars at the fairgrounds from like when he lived out in Santa Teresa out there.
No, East Side. When
East
we were in
Side,
Santa Teresa.
yeah.
So anyways, but I just love going to the Outlaws and all that stuff. Nick Racino
so much
and all
fun.
that. What's up, man? Good San Jose flashbacks there. That's fun. All right. Next up, let's get to Mosh. Let's get to a little bit of respect. I think we had a new respect. Oh, here it is.
Murph, Swaggy J, Nation. It's time for a little respect. You know, respect ain't bought, it ain't sold, it ain't demanded, it ain't negotiated, it's earned. And without blowing smoke or giving shameless plugs, we want to say salute and much respect to the following folks.
Hey! First off, we want to give respect to the Golden State Warriors, Mosh. I want to give respect because Twitter told you they were done. Twitter told you the Warriors are washed, as the kids say. Yeah, or they're not, or they're back in the finals and we're fixing to take out Tatum and the freaking Celtics here. And don't forget, folks, the Warriors went to 4 straight finals against the Cavaliers. Of course, we got knocked out by the Raptors and Kwame and his goofy laugh. But then 2 years later, after some serious injuries, the Warriors are definitely back. And I will say this to you because I know we have so many Los Angeles Raiders fans, and I love this, Mosh, because I love that we're all on the same team when it comes to the Raiders. I know that globally, the Raider Nation is just, it's everywhere, and there's such a huge contingent in Los Angeles. But all of you that are in Los Angeles that are stupid-ass Laker fans and stupid-ass Dodger fans, just jump in tonight and watch the NBA Finals as the Golden State Warriors show you how to build a team. Because in the NBA, you can still build a team by drafting. And you draft Draymond, and you draft Poole, and you draft Clay, and you draft Steph, and you build an amazing team by drafting and not by going out and signing punks like LeBron James. At me. Come on. Let's see what you got. Go Warriors. All right.
That was supposed to be respect somehow, but okay.
Oh yeah. Respect to the Warriors. For getting back, for showing everybody what's up, man. Here's what I'll say, and I'm going to save you the rant. But look, growing up in the Bay Area as an almost 50-year-old man, look, I remember, the days of Run TMC and all that, and those were amazing times as a Warrior fan. But there was a run of, 14, 15 years in there. Not only were the Warriors the worst team in the NBA, we were the most embarrassing franchise in all of sports. We had Latrell Sprewell choking our coach, for crying out loud. Like, we had the most dysfunctional, goofy-ass organization. And then here, when Steph and those guys came back around and brought us back to prominence and the glory of the freaking 70s and whatnot, it's been awesome to be a Warriors fan. Like, and there was the We Believe era where there was a blip on the radar with Barron and those guys. But like, I'm telling you, man, when you suffered through all that garbage to then get to where they're at now, like, I don't feel sorry about rubbing it in.
It was 1975, 1976. I can't remember what year it was. The Warriors won. They won the championship. Okay.
72 and 3, I think.
Yeah, you were born, so it was after that.
Oh, okay. All right.
And I remember that you could go to Safeway and get tickets. I mean, they were giving them away. You know, like it was no big deal to get tickets to the Warriors games, right? So they go ahead and they win. And we took a bus.
Oh, you nailed it. 75. Shame on me.
Please. I lived through it. and so your dad and I and your Uncle Steve and Aunt Nancy put this together. They rented one of these big coaches.
Yeah.
And there was a celebration of the Warriors in the old, God, I can't believe, it might have been the Cow Palace. Maybe where they played at?
Yeah.
And so we all got in there. It was Murph and Bruz and Doug Rich and it was everybody. It was everybody in that photo. And your Uncle Steve and your Aunt Nancy and me and your dad. And I remember because I sat next to him. We were up towards the front of the bus. And we all drove up, and we could drink on the bus and everything, and went up there, and they had this like huge, massive free pep rally for anybody that wanted to come. And it was so much fun. And then just everybody piled back in the bus and headed back down. They dropped us all off at like Willow Glen High School or something.
Oh,
but
nice.
Man, it was such a blast. But,
that is
but
so
that was
cool.
back when they were literally giving away tickets. Nobody wanted to go see the Warriors, Nobody wanted to go to Cow Palace anyway. But that was that was a cool time. It was a really cool time.
And you know what? And I want to kind of pick your brain half a second just to kind of diverge off respect for a minute, because I was so little. I really don't.
You were
remember.
one.
I was one, but like when you look at the run, so if you ever want to watch a great documentary, it's called I think it's called The Renegades or Rebels of Oakland, and it talks about the Warriors, the A's, and the Raiders. So the A's went in 72-73. Right? Something like that.
Yeah.
And then went to 74. They went through. I forget. Shame on me. I should know this off the top of my head. But the A's win there. The Warriors win 75. Raiders win in 76. Like, we dominated. Oakland sports dominated the sports landscape during that time.
And until you look at what Pittsburgh had the year that the first, I think it was the first year that the Pittsburgh Steelers won. There was also the year the Penguins won, and they also wear the mustard and black.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember who won the Pirates won. They hit I believe they hit all three. They hit hockey, football, and baseball.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, and then we hated them. Gave us even more reason to hate them.
So the A's did win 3 in a row. So 72, 73, 74. So
74, we beat the Dodgers, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that was the one I was at.
That was one year. That's one I was at.
Yeah,
that was
the one.
No.
You were
73.
At 73, yeah.
73. I was in utero, right?
Yeah, that was with the Reds. Was that the Reds?
That was the Mets. Reds year before at 72. Maybe that's the one, because it would have been October 72. I was born in March of 73.
Yeah.
So that's the one. Anyways, I always say that I literally been going to the Coliseum since before I was born, because they all went to the World Series, and my mom was pregnant with me at the Oakland Coliseum for that. Anyways, but so that freaking run.
But she was still chugging beer.
Hey. All right.
Pass that joint, Susie. Don't hit it.
Oh my goodness. Well, at least I come by it honestly.
There you go.
All right. Next up, let's see. Let's continue with the respect. So speaking of those days, speaking of the 70s Raiders, this isn't the first nor the last time we're ever going to give respect to Coach John Madden on this show, and we have been giving it a lot lately because, unfortunately, we lost Coach just earlier in the year. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to celebrate him because, Uncle Mosh, as you know, John Madden, one of the things he was very famous for and post his coaching career was the Madden video game.
Right.
And so he has on occasion appeared on the cover. And so this now being the first game since his passing, much respect and kudos to the folks at EA Sports, because look, and I've given EA a hard time over the years, especially the last 4 or 5 years, because of the changes they made to the game, and it's just not as fun as it used to be. I don't think so. But I will give them much respect here on this move, because they, of course, put Coach Madden back on the cover, and so then there's going to be 3 variations to the Madden cover, which you can get, and I'm assuming it's special editions and whatever. But anyways, good for you, EA Sports, and much respect. And so speaking of Coach Madden, I figured this would be a good time to kind of check back in on the relevance of Coach Madden, how he resonates today, not only with current players like John Simpson, who you're going to hear, but you're also going to hear from former players like Phil Villapiano. You're going to hear from Matt Millen. You're going to hear from a lot of guys in this clip about just what John Madden meant to the Oakland Raiders.
Every time he was around, just such an amazing man.
Derek.
So kind. Always, everyone said he was a coach. He was definitely always a coach. He has such a legacy. Obviously, the kids and everybody nowadays thinks about the video game and and all those things and the legacy he's left there. But what he was able to do with his career is pretty awesome as well.
Oh man, it's been nothing short of really legendary. We all grew up playing Madden, and I remember my first Madden was 2002, and I played it every year until I'm actually on the game. So I mean, you hear his voice, you hear him broadcasting, the kind of the guru of football that he was and that he was for the organization. It's just what he's done for the game, and for most of us NFL players in this building is just, you can't even put it in words.
When I think of John Madden, I think of greatness. A young coach like him coming in and leading the Raiders to their first Super Bowl, that's greatness. That's as great as it comes.
What he meant as a Raider, as a coach, what he meant as a broadcaster, just with his personality.
That's Barry Sanders.
No kidding.
Sayings. But just as a lifelong Raiders fan, I was definitely excited to talk to Coach Madden.
John Madden's a wise guy. He could touch the right buttons with a lot of our players. And I guess there's a couple that he couldn't, get to, and they didn't last very long. But John, if you listen to John, and you kind of, he would set you straight. He'd keep you going, straight and narrow, and a great mentor.
John was good with motivating guys. He knew what button to hit with guys. He knew their personalities. John's very intelligent, and he knows guys. He knows their personality, and that was a big asset with us with John. That John knew how we were. He not as a group, but as individuals.
To get into like what the Madden game has become and what it is in pop culture. So for a retired player, it's just icing on the cake. So many kids that never saw me play, that will never see me play. They know of me through the Madden football game. And they don't just know the name, right? I mean, they know serious stats and things like that. So that's kind of what that being on the cover of Madden meant.
The all-Madden team was just like an all-pro team, except John's picking it. John's saying, look, if I'm picking an all-pro team, this is what it would be, and here's why. And then he spoke exactly about what his team is made up for. And he put me on that team for a few years, and he put me on the all-time team. That to me was very satisfying, with John to make that. That's what he thought, because I respected his opinion so much. And I understood what he wanted in a player, and so if he's putting you on that, I'm for it.
Good stuff there from former players. Of course, you heard Matt Millen there at the end, and I loved the comments from Barry Sanders. We're going to talk more about Barry Sanders in a minute. I didn't realize he was a lifelong Raider fan, and we're going to talk about him touring the Henderson facility coming up in just a little bit. All right, but one last bit of respect we want to get to, and so Mosh, we got a pretty cool thing going on. There's a lot of our listeners are the most generous folks in the world, I swear.
Bar none.
And so I had a listener reach out to us this week and offered up a set of tickets to give away for free to someone that you all would recommend. So I want to give respect to this person. They asked not to be named, so I'm not going to name them. But I will say this, that I've got 2 tickets on August 26th for the game against the Patriots. So this is the preseason game against the Patriots in Vegas. And if you've got someone that you would like to send to the game, send me their contact information or maybe a little story there. Again, this person asked that maybe somebody that wouldn't normally have an opportunity to take their family to a game or a kid to a game, like maybe a single mom or like someone, because look, this stuff is expensive, and the Raiders tickets, when you look at the graph based on like the rest of the league, like it's ridiculous how much it is to go to a Raider game nowadays, and that's not totally surprising. But anyways, point being though is that we want to honor that request from this person, and so yeah, if you got somebody that maybe normally wouldn't be able to attend a game, how
are we going to do? You going to have them email that to you?
Yeah, email me at show, that's SHOW at RaidersFanRadio.com, and just kind of shoot that to me, and
so we'll go over that. We'll take it to the executive board, and we'll go over that, and we'll draw somebody out of it if we have to put chips in a bucket or whatever we do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
that's awesome. Is it now? It's a pair of tickets.
It's a pair of tickets. Yeah.
Pair of tickets. Okay.
Pair of tickets. Yep.
Awesome.
So good stuff there, and we appreciate you. You know who you are, and I look forward to giving those away to somebody that we'll look forward to using. Oh my gosh, the donations are coming in. So I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and hit an audio break, and then Mosh, and then let's jump in to this little thing we do called Summer of Swag.
Sorry, I was writing.
We have a go for main engine start. And we have main engine start. 2, 1. Booster ignition and liftoff of
This is one of my favorites.
Hello, I'm astronaut Jose Hernandez, and you're listening to Raiders Fan Radio.
He was the best interview. That dude's so cool. All right, so appreciate everybody that is in the chat room tonight. Mario, what's up, Mario? Mario Tovar, of course, the longtime friend of the show, and writes fantastic articles over there at the Just Blog Baby website. We appreciate you, and of course, the Raider Ramble, which is kind of his OG blog. And yeah, Mario's been around with us a long time and a good friend of the show. We appreciate you. I appreciate Yoshi in there, Paul Edgerton, Paul. The Heat Freak is in there. Carlos is in there. Robert Pena is in there. Alfred Esparza. All Eyes on G is in there. Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, of course. Daniel Mangus is in there. We appreciate all of you. And man, Storm is in there. Raiders Gears and Thread. That's Jay. And along with those people that are in the chat room, we've also got some amazing donations coming in. So Uncle Mosh, talk about the donations. What did those folks have to say? And then tell us what we're giving away tonight.
So Q-Dog already threw in his donation to start with right off the bat. Tyrone Graves says, hey, Uncle Mosh, Murph, and the whole RFR crew taking a pee break. But before I get back on the road, sending happy heavenly birthday to my great late Uncle Bernard. Right on, R.I.P. Uncle Bernard. And then Daniel Mangus comes in there saying, I'm going strong. I'm wanting 6 chips.
Wow.
Congratulations to Coach Madden and the Madden cover. And tonight, so it is the night of the Blue Minis. And we've got 2 mini helmets, okay? 2 mini helmets signed. I don't know all the stuff that Swaggy does. He talks about how they're legit.
They're JSA certified.
JSA,
yes.
And what is that? That's the group that
just signed it I don't know. I don't know what it is.
But that means that it's legit.
It's the company that certifies autographs, and so yeah, you get the card that comes with it. So there's a little card that's got a code on it, and then you go to the website and you can enter in the code, and it'll show you sometimes it'll even show you like a picture of the actual item or the person signing it or whatever. So yes, we would only ever give away legit stuff around here. We're not hawking bad merch, that's for sure.
No.
And so yes, it's JSA certified. So we've got 2 things. So we've got a Sebastian Janikowski signed mini helmet. We've got a Shane Leckler signed mini helmet. We're going to probably give both away, but I want to hit a certain number before we give both of those away tonight. Because again, all the money we raise here at Raiders Fan Radio goes 100% to Raiders-related charities like the One Nation Foundation, and that is our nonprofit organization, and that gives all of its money away to different Raiders-related charities like the Bolitnikoffs. So no, that's 100% where your money is going tonight. Aaron the Q-Dog Raider says Jackson State alumni. For JSA. But anyways, we appreciate all of you that are going to donate tonight. So every $10 donation, Uncle Mosh is going to write up a poker chip for you, put it in a bucket, and then we're going to draw poker chips randomly and then award that to you. You send me your address, and then I will mail you the signed mini helmets for 2 of the all-time greatest special teamers in Shane Leckler and, of course, Sebastian Janikowski. Tyrone Graves with a $5 donation says, shout out all in the 601 area code. Happy Mississippi Day with a $5 donation. Tell you what, Tyrone, I'm going to match that other $5.
Done.
And we're going to add in an extra poker chip for you. Kill Jadis has got one in there. One Chip Gang. Hootie hoo. By the way, y'all forgot to do the contact info. We did?
Oh.
Well, okay. We'll do that while we're taking more donations.
Woo! Hey, Raider Nation. You got your old Uncle Mosh here with an updated contact info. So sit up, zip up, shut up, and pay attention. You can call us at 909-345-3346. Or as Murph would say it, 909-345-3346. How about emailing me? You want to email me? Email me at show@RaidersFanRadio.com. Or what about reaching out to us on some of that social media stuff Swaggy likes? Try Facebook at Raiders Fan Radio Podcast. The Twit at Twitter at Raiders Fan Radio. Insta something. Instagram at Raiders Fan Radio. The tiki-tiki-taki-talk. TikTok at Raiders Fan Radio. Or what about the Twitch?
Everybody twitching that.
Anyway, Twitch at Raiders Fan Radio. Or if you don't like that, go to the YouTube. America, go to the YouTube. YouTube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. Oh my God, if that wasn't enough, go to your podcast provider and search Raiders Fan Radio. Holy crap, that was a lot.
good. I saw you turn towards your mic. I thought it was coming.
I was messing with you.
Dang it. Okay, so I'm an idiot.
Why?
Well, because only the YouTube audience would know this. The podcast audience wouldn't know the difference.
That you're an idiot?
Well, no,
they know.
Everybody knows I'm an idiot. But why I'm an idiot in this particular instance? The finals start tomorrow.
Oh, you big
I thought it was tonight. I thought it was tonight. I'm such an idiot. Anyway.
Hey, but you know what's better than that?
What's better than that, Uncle Mike?
Big Shane throwing in a C-note.
Oh, let's go, Big Shane.
Big Shane saying Shane. Big Shane says, hey, he says, love the show and appreciate what you do with the foundation. Very respectable, gentlemen. Thank you for your commitment. Commitment to excellence, my brother.
Amen. Thank you, Shane. That is incredibly kind.
Ebony says, no. I ain't,
You're not done yet.
No, Ebony says, $20 because I'm his wife.
Oh, nice. Thank you, Miss Ebony Graves. That is awesome. And Ebony, by the way, I've got your care package because Ebony's got a towel and some other little things I threw in there. I've got that on the way. The fulfillment department at Raiders Fan Radio, just for all of you, just to make you aware, you'll always get what we promise we're going to send you. But sometimes I got a day job. Sometimes I'm a little late on sending stuff out.
And you're stupid. You said
and I'm stupid. No, wait a minute. I didn't say stupid. I said I was an idiot.
Oh, my bad.
Well, I got to be stupid and an idiot.
Sorry.
All right, but appreciate all the amazing donations. As always, every single dime will go to the One Nation Foundation and support the Bolitnikovs. Okay, so speaking of that, let me say this real quick as we get into this summer of swag. Mosh, I talked to Angela Bolitnikoff a little bit via email this week.
Okay.
And the Bolitnikov Foundation dinner is going to be on the 16th of December. Unfortunately, the only time she could get was that close to Christmas. But I think we're going to be able to make it work. So the 18th is the Sunday night game against the Patriots, but the Bolitnikov dinner will be December 16th. So that's when we're going to donate this money. We're going to present the check, and of course, we always present it on behalf of the listening audience of Raiders Fan Radio and the supporters of the One Nation Foundation. So that will be December 16th. So for those of you that are coming to Vegas for any games and you want to link up with the RFR crew, that's the one game we're probably going to go to in Vegas this year. And then, of course, we're going to have a blast in Nashville for the game when the Raiders come to Tennessee. But we'll talk more about that even later. But anyways, for the donations, for the money we raise, we're giving it away on that night on December 16th at the Paris Hotel Casino, and you can buy tickets to that and you can attend the event with us, man. We'd love to meet up with you. We met up with Jay last year from Raider Gears and Threads and from Arizona Raider Nation, and anybody else who wants to come, please do. Oh my gosh, we got a lot more coming in.
So Matthew Mangus dropped seven chips worth right here. He says, Murph, I love the shirt. Where'd you get that shirt?
Oh, thanks, buddy.
And Trinidad. Hadn't heard from Trinidad in a minute. Trinidad says, I'm in the one chip gang. And so we're up to, we got 8 different people that have chimed in. We're on our way. Here we go, man. Here we go. We're at the top of the show.
Top of the show. So we've already, I think we're going to hit any of those numbers that we needed to get both away. So we'll look forward to giving both of those items away. So so definitely the more donations you get in, the more chances you have to win. And Matthew Mangus, man, you and your brother tonight, incredibly generous.
Crushing it.
$72 Mosh. Let's go ahead and round him up too. I'll throw in that $8 to give him the extra chip.
I'm keeping track. That's 13 for you.
13 for me. Okay. And so where'd I get the shirt? So I got it at Fanatics. I got it on the Fanatics website, which is an affiliate here of Raiders Fan Radio. If you go to RaidersFanRadio.com/gear and click the Fanatics link, whether you buy basketball stuff or baseball stuff or football stuff or whatever, we get a little bit of a kickback. And that kickback, once again, all goes into the One Nation Foundation. Matthew Mangus, he's planning on week 3 attending the game, and maybe for Fred Bolitnikoff, and also a $10 donation. So we appreciate you very, very, very much. And all right, one last thing, and I promise, because you guys will never talk about the Raiders. We're going to talk a ton about the Raiders here coming up in just a couple minutes.
What's more Raider than Madden? Stop it.
Okay, all right, fair enough. All right, but before we get to that, I gotta play this. So someone sent us a thing. You guys are the best, and we get the coolest voicemails and phone calls and emails from our listeners, and we got a really cool one this week from the Raider Karaoke Kid. And so here, while we're doing the Summer of Swag, where we're talking about all the things we're giving away, these 2 mini helmets, let's check in with our buddy Raider Karaoke Kid and his Summer of Swag Mosh theme song.
Come on. hope Jeff's
That's
listening.
great. It started with a draft date. Fans came to participate. Murph and Jeff were not afraid. Back to the fan cave, sharing with the enclave, teasing all the show leads, pumping super chat feeds, mosh with the promo cuts, chief. We still hate your guts, prizes and surprises on the weekly club in a blame game, branch to the Hall of Fame, while Ziegler and McDaniels work a combat site. Swag Jeff swinging with the Mangers brothers, breathing down his neck. Team by team reporters baffle cap, working out, grabbing at the low fruit. Fine, then, overflow. One receiver gotta go, but it'll do. Rep yourself, serve yourself. Davis serve the team's needs. Captain cursing, ears bleed, waiting for the beginning of the season. Bring the might. Right, scrounging up a get well card for Rivers, worn out. White. It's the summer of swag. Yes, we know it. It's the summer of swag. Yes, we know it. It's the summer of swag, yes, we know it. We feel fine. Carr haters open fire, looking at the waiver wire. Foggy glasses slow turn, listen to the nation churn. Ink him to a contractor, let him walk and cut that. Every move deliberate, new regime legitimate. Uncle Mosh, Shoey, Cleat, chug down. Mad Max and Chandler, crush, best calls you ever heard. Press the damn button, nerd. Poker chip, drop. Operation One Nation benefits down the line. It's the summer of swag as we know it. It's the summer of swag as we know it. It's the summer of swag as we know it. We feel fine. Oh, we feel fine.
Nice, Mosh.
It's the summer of swag as we know it. It's the summer of swag as we know it. It's the summer of swag as we know it. We feel fine. Q-Dog leads the calls, emails, tell it all. One name stands tall. Paul. Watching the potatoes, pick a fight every night. Premonition, card at night, the jackpot, boom. Some still bitter about the 21 Gemini, right? Right. It's the summer of swag as we know it.
Everybody!
It's the summer of swag as we know it. It's the summer of swag as we know it. We feel fine. This has been the Raider Karaoke Kid. It's the summer of swag and we love it. Take care, nation, and to the Mangus boys, top rope, baby.
Oh man,
I love
so
it.
good.
I love the banter between our folks.
Oh, it's the best.
And it's a great. And speaking of the Mangus boys, Daniel just threw in another 4 chips worth, and he says, "What a fire song! It's the summer of swag as we know it."
I love it, man.
What a great song!
Great job,
Fantastic.
Raider Karaoke Kid, man. And I love it. And the Mangus boys were going at him too. They're like, of course, they were very kind with their donation, but they're like, "Get this guy off of here!" I love the rivalry, man. Look, I made my glasses fog up. Raider
How
Karaoke
much
Kid.
fun!
That was fair. When he went Paul. Like, that was freaking amazing. Everybody's calling him the RFR Weird Al.
Ah, yeah, he is.
Very, very much so. Very much. All right, so write-offs. Appreciate those donations. Keep them coming in. We're going to give away. And let me show you this too. This summer of swag ain't no joke, guys. We're giving away the coolest stuff.
Oh my gosh.
So tonight we're giving away the 2 mini helmets.
Right.
The Hunter Renfrow signed helmet right there, which you could full-size signed helmet, which you can see we're giving away at the Fannies. And then I'm going to go back to my camera over here. So this is what we're going to give away over the next couple weeks is a signed Nate Hobbs jersey.
Right on.
The AFL signed Nate Hobbs jersey. And then look at this baby right here. Daryl LaMonica signed number 3 jersey right there, baby.
Uncle Mosh may be throwing in $100 on that one.
Old school, man. Just a silver and black home jersey to celebrate the late, great Daryl LaMonica. But anyway, so we've got a lot of cool stuff coming. And yes, tonight, Mosh, show them one more time before we hit an audio break. What we're giving away tonight, the 2 signed mini helmets from the legends, Shane Leckler and Sebastian Janikowski.
Shane Leckler and Sebastian Janikowski, they're signed mini helmets. They had real-sized heads, so they didn't wear these. And
Nice. We're giving that away. So any of the donations that come in, we're going to draw for those and give those away. All right. Here at the top of the show, 45 minutes in, let's talk about the darn Raiders. Uncle Mosh, hit a break, and then we'll jump into it.
Woo!
Okay, go.
Hey, everybody, this is your old Uncle Mosh out here at the Raiders game. I got Q-Dog, I got Mojo, I got Big Raider Trucker, and they got something to tell you about Raiders Fan Radio.
Get your facts, get your funny,
and get the F out.
I love that. I love that. Can't wait to see those guys coming up soon when we get together for the Raiders-Titans game here in Tennessee, and then also, of course, we'll see those guys in Vegas. All right, Mosh.
Hit me.
Before we even jump into the off-season news, I want to jump into some off-season, I don't know, dumbassery.
Dumbassery.
How about, I'll tell you what. How about, listen, do I have it here? Do I have the Sea of Ben? Yeah, here it is. I'm gonna call an audible here on the run of the show. We're gonna go into the Sea of Pendejos.
Hey, pendejo, how you doing? Trent.
Hey, pendejo, how you doing?
Yeah, that's close enough.
What does that mean?
Oh, that means my real good friend.
How's that again?
Pendejo, man.
Bendeco.
Yeah. Then say, bend over, pendejo.
How you doing?
¿Qué pasó? No se pendejos, man. We gotta go now.
Yeah, see ya, pendejos.
All right, so the Sea of Pendejos, as John calls them, or as Cheech would say, pendejos.
Pendejos.
Population 1. You want to know who it is this week, Mosh?
Oh, my gosh. It could be anybody.
Not Mike Florio.
Oh, I'm surprised.
I know. He's kind of like the lead pendejo, right?
Who is it?
It's Peter King.
What did dumbass Peter King have to say?
Here's what Peter King had to say. Because, Mosh, it's the offiest of the offseason
Peter King.
when the Chargers are getting run in media, right? So, Peter King, longtime NFL analyst, commentator, all that kind of stuff, releases his power rankings, which when you release power rankings in May, it's bullshit anyways. But when he releases his power rankings, so who's at the top of the list are the Buffalo Bills because they're the darlings of the NFL this year. And I kind of get that. I mean, look, they got a big arm quarterback. They got an explosive offense. Like, they got a good defense. Like, I kind of get that. But who's number 2 on stupid-ass Peter King's freaking power rankings? For those of you on the YouTubes, I'm holding it up here. It's the Chargers. Can we?
What?
One of these days.
Why? What's his motivation? Tell me.
I don't know. Just like one of these days, can we please, for the love of all things holy, not over freaking run the Chargers in the offseason? Every year. And every year they fail. This team has been picked to win the division or the conference, I swear to goodness, for like the last 20 years. And they continually underachieve. Peter King, there he's got them, the Bills, Chargers, then he's got the Chiefs, Rams, Packers, Bucks, Bengals, Ravens, Eagles, and Niners. Why are the Eagles number 9? Like, give me a break, man. Does this guy not watch the same sport that the rest of us do?
Okay, so what's the criteria for power ranking? What's
That's why
he saying?
they're dumb. Yeah, you know what my power rankings are, Mosh?
Wins and losses.
Yeah, exactly. And
the scoreboard.
Yeah, thank you. Like, and so dude is like, okay, this like career journalist, this highly respected guy, and that's the kind of content that he pumps out. I'll tell you what. Here's my power rankings. You ready? You know who's number 1?
Yeah.
The Raiders.
Raiders.
Yeah.
You know who's number 2? The Raiders.
Dude, it's like when people do like schedule predictions, and I used to crack me up. So, Sonny, we would do our schedule predictions, and he'd go, win. 16-0, baby. Like, because it's so like, you know what I mean? Like, and now it's kind of like, now look I will give you a pass on that stuff because you go Nostradamus on that kind of stuff, and you have like a different, like, I don't know, there's a different vibe to when you're calling your shot on some stuff. But like when these power rankings, like, okay, and this is not taking a shot at anybody, but let me just say this. No one cares about your fantasy football team. No one cares about your mock draft. No one cares about your power rankings. No one cares. There's a reason we don't talk about this stuff on the show. Yeah. I'm not going to talk about my fantasy football. No one cares about my fantasy football. You know who cares about their fantasy football team? Whoever they are. Yeah, Jeff cares about his. I don't give a shit about his fantasy football team. So, you know who cares about my mock draft? Me.
Yeah.
You know who else cares? No one.
So the reason, here's what I think. I think the Chargers are the NFL's darling.
Why?
Because of the whole move to L.A., they got to do good. They're in the biggest city in the nation. They only draw 48 people, and those are all Phillip Rivers' kids. And some of them are wearing Raiders jerseys. You know what I'm saying? They're the darlings. And if they fail, the NFL fails. It's like I had a boss one
that's a
time.
good point.
I had a boss one time that hired a football coach, and we went 0-10. Next year, 0-10. Next year, 1-9. And why did you fire that guy? Well, we won a game. Well, why did you fire that guy? Well, I don't want people to think I made a mistake. You know what I mean? So the NFL doesn't want to see that they bombed, that they shit the bed by moving the LA Superchargers to LA. They're the darlings.
That's a good point. And you know what? And this is clicking for me. And so this is why Mosh is the best. No one is a bigger shill for the NFL and the Shield than Peter King.
Absolutely.
He's the absolute freaking, he's the, what do you call it? The profile pic or what? The picture boy.
You watch. He's going to be the one now, and we're going to talk about it later, but when the Gruden stuff comes out that it wasn't what it was supposed to be, that the NFL was going to be at fault here, he's going to be the one that, mark it down, write it down. He's going to be the one that defends the National Football League.
Oh, let's go, Mosh. Let's go.
I'm just saying.
Uncle Mosh, you're the smartest man alive.
Hey, another $10 donation from Joe AXT 13.
Oh, thank you. He's got a shout out there from Oxnard, California. Oxnard. We appreciate you, Joe AXT, man. Right on. All right. Let's get into some of the audio now. So you guys will talk about the Raiders. Until now, we're going to talk a bunch, and I've got a ton of audio clips to get to, and we're going to lead it off by playing some commentary from most recently Raider linebacker KJ Wright, of course famous for playing with the Legion of Boom over there in Seattle, but had a great year by most accounts last year. KJ Wright, also a veteran of the Bussin' with the Boys podcast. You can check that out, and he wears his Raider pride loudly. And so let's check in with him as he appears on NFL Network and has posed the question. Posed the question? Is that right?
He posed the question.
Okay, the question was posed to him.
Oh, okay. He answered the question that was posed.
Thank you, sir. The question was, are the Chiefs the best team in the AFC West?
They're not. And when I look at the offseason they put together, I didn't like it. Letting Tyreek Hill leave that building is going to take some time to overcome. You cannot just let him leave the building and expect to still be number one in that division. Who's number one is going to be the Las Vegas Raiders.
Come on,
that's why I have his number one. And when you look at the offseason they put together, bringing in Josh McDaniels, he is a quarterback guru. He has a blueprint to getting guys to the Super Bowl. And when you pair him with Derek Carr, you bring Derek Carr's favorite weapon in Devontae Adams. I cannot wait to see those guys go to work this year. And then on the defensive side, we haven't got to defense. Bringing the best, in my opinion, pass rusher in Chandler Jones, pairing him with Max Crosby is going to be a fun tandem to watch. And so the Raiders are number one in this division.
Oh, my gosh. I love it, man.
Hey, ask that guy if he'll do a power ranking for us.
No, his power rankings we like.
Yeah.
Yeah. When it comes to KJ Wright and Rich Eisen, we are all about their power rankings. All right, so good stuff there from KJ. Appreciate him, and I'm assuming he's probably leaning towards being done in his career now that he's making all these appearances and whatnot. And what an excellent career that he had, and glad to see him wrap it up with the silver and black if he doesn't come back and play this year. All right, here we go, Mosh. This is a fun one.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna get into the Derek Carr segment. Nothing brings him in like Derek Carr talk. So I'm telling you. So we're gonna dig in on some Derek Carr talk. And so Pat McAfee show, which is quickly becoming one of my favorite sports
Great
shows.
show.
Way up there, like he's up there with Rich and Dan Patrick and those guys. So Pat McAfee show, he's got a former NFL quarterback Dan Orlovsky on the show, and Dan bills himself as a quarterback guru. And Dan posed a list of players that that their teams win because of them. Not just players, but quarterbacks. Let me clarify. Quarterbacks that lead their team to victories because of them, not in spite of them, not because of surrounding talent. So here's his list, and they're going to cover it here, but I'll do it awful fast, so I'll run it down here for you. It's Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Derek Carr, Justin Hebert, Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, and Matthew Stafford. So let's check in now with the list and specifically about how Derek Carr is on the list.
You win because of, this is your list, Josh Allen, stud. Joe Burrow, stud. Lamar Jackson, great on the football field and on Twitter. Patrick Mahomes, Derek Carr, all right, Justin Herbert, Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Matthew Stafford. What you're saying is Derek Carr doesn't get enough respect because you believe he puts the team on his back. That's why you put him in this list, and I assume that is the one that everybody was kind of up in arms with on this particular list?
Yeah, I think there's been three things that I've seen everybody be so emotional about on this one. Yes, Derek Carr, but I've been a Derek Carr guy. Like, I've always.
You're a Carson Wentz guy too, and then he threw a left-handed interception for 0 yard, pick six, 0 yards against division rival fourth quarter. So then I didn't hear a word about him after that. And guys, how'd you watch him play and be like, yeah, this is going to be the right guy for the Colts?
I'll get to that. Can I answer this first question?
What I'm just saying, whenever you give your opinion, I listen. You hear me? Whenever you give an opinion, I listen. Darius Butler gives an opinion on the secondary, I listen. Or anything, really, defensive side of the ball, I'm going to listen. Now, if he starts speaking on the offense, I'll be like, all right, let me check to see what he's saying. When you speak about quarterbacks, a lot of us are like, all right, we must listen. So whenever you have these little, emotional attachments to different guys and your words aren't matching up with their play, you can call into question your legitimacy as the quarterback guru. And I didn't want to do that after watching Carson play. But now I assume that's what a lot of people are doing with you having Derek Carr on here and Dak Prescott on the other one.
Okay, so I've explained the whole stance on the Dak Prescott situation. The Derek Carr one, I think we have evidence over the last 2 years when that roster has been depleted at moments or that defense has just gotten absolutely gutted. Derek Carr plays at such a level that they are able to and do win games because he plays at such a high level. I asked you for the Dak Prescott stretch of games. That didn't happen. Derek Carr did. That's why Derek Carr has played himself onto that list.
Hey,
okay.
We need to give more respect to Derek Carr. I'd like everybody in the NFL world to give more respect to Derek Carr. Guru of the football. Dan Orlovsky saw the film, says, hey, this is what you need to do. We duly noted by us, Dan. I want to let you know that.
All right, there we go. Let's give more respect to Derek Carr. He deserves it. And so, look, I went a little bit of a black hole of the internet again tonight.
All right.
And I found something. Now, we're not huge fans of PFF around here, but I do I've mentioned them an awful lot. Even though I'm not a big fan of theirs, there is some really good stuff on their website. This was something that was really cool that they came up with. So it's a really busy list. It's an eye chart, so I'm showing it up here for the YouTube audience. You can't even see it. It's so dang small.
My gosh.
The camera can't even focus on it.
No.
Quarterback adjusted wins over expected from 2019 to 2021. What is an adjusted win? It's a one-score game weighted less than a full win. Actual adjusted wins over for an average quarterback. All right, so what that means is that there's a median. So there's a zero line, and based on that quarterback's play, how much did they push them over the expected win total for the team, okay? Now, you can say it's a goofy metric or goofy study, whatever. Right. But point being, though, is that and the reason I focus on or feature these things a lot of times is that it just provides a little bit of an insight. Because it's not like, it's just another little like nugget of things that you can use in consideration when you're thinking about, how good is your quarterback? So when you think about the player that's top of the list, number one is Patrick Mahomes. So this is adjusted wins over expected. So basically it's saying that this team, that the Chiefs, or Patrick Mahomes is responsible for more wins than expected by X amount. And so in this case, it's 10 for Patrick Mahomes. Number two on the list is Aaron Rodgers, who's at 7. Then you got Ryan Tannehill, then Josh Allen, and then guess who?
Derek Carr.
Derek Carr, top 5. Like, so all the conversations that we have around is Derek Carr, like, do the Raiders win more because of Derek Carr? Well, you got a guy that studies film like Dan Orlovsky, and then now you got PFF. Like, I got to trust it. I don't know. I mean, we're just a fan over here, but, if it walks like a duck and, you know what I mean? Let's go. So anyway, so good stuff there from Dan and the Pat McAfee Show and also PFF. All right, let me get to another one here. This is a little bit of a lengthy one. So I'm going to, Washington, I'm going to use this as an opportunity to use the restroom. This is like when you're a DJ and you play Paradise by the Dashboard Light. It means you got to go to the bathroom. Yeah, or American Pie. That's exactly right. And so for those of you that are old enough to get that reference, you're our people. All right, so let's check in with David Carr, of course, Derek's older brother, on the Rich Eisen show. And I'm kind of joking. It's a long clip. It's like 6 minutes long, but it's really, really good. And there was nothing in here that, normally I like kind of cut out and trim out chunks of interviews and whatnot. But I wanted to feature this whole thing because this provides some incredible insight on the relationship and the dynamic and everything that's going on between the Raiders and Derek Carr, and now Derek's best friend, Davante Adams, and so happy to have this young man in silver and black. And this is pretty cool stuff here. So check in with this. This is David Carr talking about DADC, which I'm putting that on a shirt. We're so going to have a shirt that says DADC and referencing our two studs on offense. So let's check in with David talking about DADC.
So we just talked about how deep the AFC is this year. No deeper pool than the AFC West. Easily the toughest division in football now that Russell Wilson is there and so many other new additions from Khalil Mack and J.C. Jackson. And we all know how many people have entered this division. Kansas City, less Tyreek Hill, but so on and so forth. They have gotten a ton of talent on their team. That said, David, do you know who I have chosen to beat all of them in the AFC West this year? Are you aware of that?
If we're vibing the way I think that we are talking about the Jets, then I'm going to hope that you're speaking about a team in Las Vegas.
I am speaking about a team in Las Vegas, and I've gotten a ton of crap for it. But
I got any crap last night for putting the Jets in the playoffs, Rich.
You know what? I don't know if we understand if we knew we're scratching each other's backs in a way, David, but we kind of are, because I do love the addition of Chandler Jones to go with Max Crosby, and then Davante Adams to hook up with your brother again. It's such a rarity to have a quarterback wide receiver relationship that's new but not new at all, right? So
it's so rare, and it's been something that they've tried to make happen for 5 years now, since Davante signed his contract extension several years ago with the Packers. Derek was pushing to get him there, and Davante was really close, man. I mean, a couple years ago, they were really close to making that happen. And so for it to actually happen, I remember I was actually sitting on set at the NFL Network when it went through with James Jones, and James was obviously sad because he's a Packer.
Right.
But it was almost surreal because, like you said, it never really happens that you absolutely get to pull off something like this, where guys that have known each other since they were essentially teenagers get to play, and obviously have gotten to the points they've gotten in their career and now find themselves back together. I look at the Raiders, and to kind of validate your point, when I try to look at them, just objectively, like how is this going to work out? And from a quarterback standpoint, I always look at matchups. That's what this league is, and we hear that all the time. But literally, that's what it comes down to. And so you already have, and Foster Moreau said this to me the other day. He was out here working out with some of the kids in our high school team, and he was out on the field right here, about 100 feet where I'm at. And he said, you already have two guys that are basically unguardable, Hunter Renfrow and Darren Waller. Like they create the unique matchup issues for the defense. And now you add Davante Adams. How do you cover them down? So that's the main issue. And Derek's as good as anybody. If he has a quality that is elite, for me, it's the ability to recognize what the defense is in, what they're trying to do, and get the ball as quickly as possible to his best matchup. And that's what he does. And now he's loaded with an offensive play caller. That's all they've done for 20 years is find matchups and exploit them. So I don't necessarily see a situation where the Raiders are going to go into a game and not have a favorable matchup on the outside. So anything can happen. The trenches, obviously, Khalil Mack and what the Chargers have done up front. I mean, they're formidable, so they're going to have to protect. But I mean, from a player standpoint, I love their chances against anybody.
So why does your brother and Davante Adams vibe so well, do you think? I mean, because again, you knowing their history and how much they mean to each other personally, you might have been one of the few people not totally shocked that Davante Adams leaves Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers in back-to-back MVP seasons to go to a totally new spot. So fill in some of the blanks if you don't mind.
No problem. I mean, well, I think that from the moment that they got together in Fresno, it was a unique situation because Davante came to Fresno and visited there and basically signed with Fresno State because of Derek. And so from the moment that they met on his recruiting trip, they hit it off. They just have a unique bond, and they're best friends. And Davante, even before they made the move to Vegas, so first of all, in the Bay Area, he bought a house right next to Derek. They worked out in the off season. They trained together, even when Davante was in Green Bay. Same thing. Derek moves to Vegas. Davante moves to Vegas. And this was about a month before the whole thing went down, where he joined up. So they've just had a unique bond. They've always gotten along well. I mean, and then the chemistry on the field is I think the biggest thing. So there's guys that are quarterback friendly from a wide receiver perspective. There's guys that you like to throw to, but then there's like this different level that these guys have always had. And I asked Derek after their first workout as official teammates again in Las Vegas. He's driving back home, and they're both in the car together. They FaceTimed, and so I said, "How'd it go?" And Derek's like, "Every ball is 6 inches in front of his chest." It's just a natural thing. So he understands Davante. They also share that affinity for Davante is very confident. He's a very confident receiver, and Derek, every receiver that Derek has ever talked to me about, he's compared to Davante Adams. Every receiver, he's like, he does this like Davante. It's always been that way. So I think that's the biggest thing. They have affinity for each other's ability. Derek loves Davante's athleticism, has always felt like he's hands down the best receiver he's ever played with. He's said that since he was 19 years old, and it hasn't changed a decade later. So I'm excited to see these guys play together, man. It's gonna be awesome. I'm excited for the country, because when they're at Fresno, a lot of people saw him play, but I'm excited for the actual NFL family and community to get a chance to watch these guys, because it's gonna be a blast.
Wow.
All right, Raider Nation. I hope you guys.
That was awesome.
Isn't that fantastic, Mosh? Tell me what your thought. And do you want to shout out what's going on in the chat first, or do you want to?
I do. Let me.
Please.
Let me. I'm over here actually having to work tonight.
Okay. You're a busy man tonight.
Pineapple B122 Fingerhurst, $100.
Let's go.
10 chips to start right off the bat, and then John Ogle followed him up with the purchase of 4 chips.
Oh my gosh,
$40.
beautiful.
We are going to end up giving away both helmets tonight.
We are giving away both helmets. We appreciate you, John Ogle. Commitment to excellent podcast. Audio, video on one phone, chat on another. Still don't know where swag is for tonight. So we appreciate you. And Pineapple says he needs another mini helmet to match his Howie Long helmet. Of course, he won the Howie Long helmet that we gave away. But it was appreciate you and all those very, very kind donations. Keep them coming, and we're going to give away 100% of that money to the One Nation Foundation, and then probably most all of it to the Blitikoff.
We're over $500 tonight.
Are we really
No
already?
kidding. No kidding.
No kidding?
No kidding. And we haven't even got to any of the good stuff yet.
Oh my gosh, amazing.
We're having a ball. Come on.
Thank you all so very, very much.
Hit the like button.
Yeah, hit the like button. And you know, when we get these kind of nights, then I start throwing in t-shirts and all kinds of other stuff into the goodie bags there. So keep them coming. We appreciate you very, very much. All right. So another topic we've talked a lot about this really since the season was over is that some of this criticism that got lobbied at Darren Waller, and in terms of like
so unfair,
it's
so unfair,
so unfair. And Mosh and I have talked frequently about being at that last game of the year, that last regular season game against the Chargers, and we could see him just like in his routes and stuff, and we were like basically like celebrating that his effort and the idea that he was out there, but he just didn't look right. And Mosh, you kept calling. You're like, he just like he's a little, he's soft on the leg. Like he just didn't quite look right. So this off-season criticism that's gone on about Darren Waller and people like speculating about trading him and all this stuff. It's the goofiest sentiment. You just heard David Carr talking about it. When you got Waller and you got Renfrow and now you got Adams, like who are you going to cover? You know what I mean? So it's like, at some point, like you're going to expose the defense. You're going to expose all those different matchups that David was talking about as well. And so Mosh and I, we're just, dopey fans here in my bonus room, but the eye test, it did look like something was wrong. And I'm a firm believer that you just don't criticize or judge players based when they're hurt. And so sure enough, freaking Darren Waller kind of talks about it here on the Ross Tucker podcast, who, if you don't know who Ross is, he fills in once in a while for Dan Patrick. He's a pretty good host. But Darren comes right out and talks about it. And look, Raider Nation, Darren Waller ain't going anywhere. And hopefully the Raiders get him signed under a long-term contract.
And he's a straight shooter. That's the other thing that people don't understand. This guy, he don't play the game. When you've been through what he's been through, he don't play. He ain't play. He's going to tell you like it is, Amen. He has bared his soul to the world and said, I had a problem. I fixed it. I've done what I needed to do to get better. So if I've got a bum leg or I've got whatever, I was a drug addict and an alcoholic. What's an Achilles problem going to do me?
Right.
Come on. Yeah. Take the guy at his word.
Great point.
19 was an incredible year. 20, an incredible year. Last year, it just seemed like you couldn't shake the injuries. What kind of injuries did you have to deal with last year, and how frustrating was that?
Yeah, it was definitely frustrating. The first game that I missed was the Eagles game. I don't remember the week exactly, but the Friday practice before that game, I got tripped running like a fly sweep motion behind the line of scrimmage by one of our offensive linemen who was kicking back, and I kicked myself on like the inside of my ankle, and I couldn't finish the practice. Like I tried to, but I couldn't. And then I tried to see how I felt on Sunday, and I couldn't go. And then I came back. We played Cincinnati. I had a pretty big game against them. And then the next week was Dallas. And I felt, like I was going to really explode that game. And then I got rolled up, got my knee rolled up pretty good on that Thanksgiving game. And it was just tough, man. Like that took 5 weeks to bounce back from. And it was like, okay, like get ready for the Colts game. And then the first day we have practice that week, I get COVID that morning that I wake up and I just, I feel like death.
Right.
And so it was a lot, it was a lot of adversity, and, it was frustrating, of course, because I felt like, just even statistically wise, I was on pace for another 1,000-yard season and just continuing to be there on a day-to-day basis with the team on that journey. So, just wanted to stay mentally locked in and contribute any way I could come back. And, I came back out there for the last game of the regular season and, didn't do much, but just felt good to be out there and to, and then just get out there in the playoff game and just give it everything that I had. So it was frustrating for sure.
And there it is. There it is right there in a nutshell. No excuses. This is what happened.
He was frustrated. He was. You could hear it.
He was talking about the offensive lineman that stepped back doing what he was supposed to do, and he kicked himself in the leg. It would have been so much easier to blame it on somebody.
Yeah, Leatherwood blasted me in the leg. Leatherwood had a bad set, and I freaking ran into him or whatever. Yeah. I mean, I don't know who it was. I'm picking on Leatherwood, but absolutely, Mosh. I agree with you. The guys,
you got to take the man at his word. That's what I say.
Take him at his word, man. And so, anyways, we're going to look forward to Darren Waller being a Raider for a very, very long time. And and if you're thinking that the Raiders are going to trade him, why would you? I mean, seriously, think about that. Set any of your whatever aside. Just use your football brain. You've got one of the most dynamic tight ends. Is he the best tight end in the league? I don't know. It's debatable. He's certainly one of the most dynamic tight ends in the league. You have one of the most dynamic slot receivers in all of football. Now you have the most dynamic wideout, the best wideout in all of football. Why would you break up the gang? Before they even got started, why would you trade Darren Waller? 0 cents.
Yeah.
It makes 0 sense to me. Derek Carr has, he's loaded with weapons. Derek Carr's going to go bananas this year. And
he's never had this amount of weapons before. He's never had this.
Never.
Now, if we just got to make sure that our offensive line can protect his butt.
Yes, sir.
But, as far as that goes, they're not out drafting Yoko. They're gonna keep the band together. This is...
You went Beatles reference. That was
Sorry.
amazing. That was amazing. Yeah, the band is going to stay together. Absolutely. Ain't nobody going anywhere. And so we'll look forward to, again, seeing Darren Waller be a Raider for a very, very long time. All right. So that's the Raiders that are. And, I'm not a huge fan of talking about the Raiders that aren't. Normally, we talk about the Raiders that are. because when you start speculating about all kinds of crazy stuff, you never know what can happen.
Right.
But I think there's a lot of legitimacy to this one. So the Raiders are rumored to be pursuing Ndamukong Suh, which as of today, then the June 1st salary cap, the old salaries get removed and you get money and blah, blah, blah. The Raiders got like $25 million. So the Raiders could be rumored to go after a few different players, and one of them is Ndamukong Suh. And so let's check in. Who are we checking in with on this one? Where am I at? Oh, back to the Pat McAfee show.
Pat McAfee
PMS talking to Ian Rappaport about the Raiders potentially pursuing Ndamukong Suh.
Follow up. How about Ndamukong Suh?
Yeah, Suh, the Bucs kind of moving on from Suh and signing Akeem Hicks yesterday was, I would say, like a little bit surprising.
We were surprised. Yeah. We were surprised. Will they bring Ndamukong Suh back still, you think, with that or no?
I don't think he's going back to the Bucs.
Back to the Rams then?
Maybe, but I don't think so. Because remember, if they're spending a lot on Donald, you spend a lot at that position. Some people say, you know what, we've allocated enough money to this position. There's some other teams interested, but obviously, like, Colts? That was a blow for. He's not coming to the Colts. No, actually, I don't know. He might. I don't know.
Ooh. Whoa. So that means you know a couple of places he's going to go if you shot down the Colts that much. What are some teams?
I've heard Raiders would be one of those teams potentially. But the problem is he's 35, and he has done one-year deals every time, and he believes very strongly in his value, like very strongly. So does he get the money he wants, or does he say, all right, at 35, I've made, God, I don't even know how much he's made. So much.
Gazillion.
I'll play for the Colts. Don't go to the Raiders. Too many people go to the Raiders.
Yeah, so big time. So Ndamukong Suh, so for those of you that forgot, he had that monster contract when he went to the Dolphins from the Lions, and he's and apparently he's one of those guys that like so many other players have like set up like all these successful businesses and like consults with like and is highly invested in real estate, all that. So Ndamukong Suh doesn't need the money, so he's gonna make his play where he wants.
He's gonna Brady it. He's gonna play to play.
There you go. I think so. I definitely think so. Freddie Chavez with a $10 donation in there says Raider Nation for life. Appreciate you, Freddie Chavez. That earns you a poker chip for one of the mini helmets we're drawing for tonight in Sebastian Janikowski and Shane Leckler. But yeah, I would love to see Suh. So Ndamukong Suh is one of those guys to me, Mosh, and I would love and will love to see him be a Raider should he sign. But he's one of those guys that just like has Raider written all over him, man. He's just kind of like, you know what I mean? Toes the line, like he's kind of almost like an Alzado-y kind of type guy, right?
Yeah.
Earlier, we heard from Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders was talking about growing up as a lifelong Raider fan. Barry Sanders happened to have been in Henderson this past week and toured the Raiders training facility and was bragging about like how great he thought he could have been. Barry Sanders, probably the greatest of all time, saying how great he could have been if he would have trained with the facilities now that the Raiders have. And again, in those segments, went on and talked about how he's a lifelong Raider fan, which I didn't realize that. But wouldn't it have been amazing with the history of great running backs the Raiders have had to see somebody like Barry Sanders? So it got my wheels turning a little bit, Mosh. So I'm going to pose a question to you. What players, whether it be modern day players like Ndamukong Suh or in recent generations like Barry Sanders or even going in the Wayback Machine, was there ever any players when you were growing up or just in any time during your fandom where you look at them and you go, man, I wish that guy was in silver and black?
Early on, I had two.
Okay.
I had two. An offense and a defense player. I loved Dick Butkus. Dick Butkus would just, I remember one time I can't remember what it was, what I was watching. It was a commercial or an interview or something, and Dick Butkus was on, and he asked somebody, Dick, you hit so hard, if you knock somebody's head off, what would you think? And he's like, well, if it was a clean hit, it was a clean hit, And I always thought, I thought, that mindset, that he would have been an amazing Raider.
Yeah.
And there was a bunch of them, on the other side of the line. I liked Alex Karras,
El Mongo.
El Mongo, yeah. My favorite movie he ever made was The 400-Pound Jerk.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, it was
I thought you were going to say Blazing Saddles.
No, well, Blazing Saddles too, but and then I had a player. He was a tight end for the Rams back in the 60s named Jack Snow.
Okay.
He was, and I always thought, man, what if he could have caught balls from LaMonica? That would have been really cool, really cool.
Okay.
And then as my fandom grew, I always wanted Joe Green to hang up the I mean, come on,
anybody
Joe.
with the nickname Mean
should be a Raider. Mean should be a Raider. and then for the Oilers, Steve McNair, man. You
loved you some Steve McNair.
I loved Steve McNair, man.
Yeah.
It and every 4th of July, I celebrate Al and celebrate Steve. But he would have been great. But kind of recently, I like Troy Polamalu. Another Steeler.
Interesting.
He
was one I almost put on my little thought list.
He exuded Raider.
Yeah.
And he, with the hair and everything, and God, he would have been great. And then Taylor Swift. Taylor Lewan. Taylor Swift would have been cool. No, but Taylor Lewan.
Taylor Lewan would be a great
I
Raider.
want Taylor Lewan. I still want him. When he decides to give up the colors we're wearing today, the blue, and trade it in for the silver and black. Come on, Taylor.
Taylor would be a great Raider.
Taylor would be a great
He would
Raider.
be a great Raider, yeah.
So there,
Good call.
there's
Mosh.
a handful that I had. There's some of them were people I used to like to root against, but
Love it, Mosh.
And what's the other guy's name?
Oh,
he was
Compton.
Oh, Will Compton. Right.
So, those are great ones, Mosh. Great ones. All right, so I'll give you a few. So number one, first and this is I'm a sucker for quarterbacks. I'm a sucker for big arm quarterbacks. I'm a sucker for big time quarterbacks that are versatile and kind of redefine the position at times. And Aaron Rodgers would have been the best. He's a Bay Area guy or Chico guy anyway. Like Aaron Rodgers would have been freaking incredible as a Raider. He's not, but I think that he. Again, that kind of the quirkiness of him as a player and like all that kind of stuff, I think he would have been a great Raider. A guy I brought up a couple weeks ago, an LA guy that was like, you talk about the definition of scrappy, a little bit undersized, but played way bigger than he was and was an absolute badass and would test him a little bit, and he'd bloody your nose on the field, and that's Steve Smith, the wide receiver for the Panthers, and then, of course, the Ravens. But Steve Smith, I thought, would have been perfect as a Raider. But then, so then it's interesting. My last one is one that because I thought about Polamalu, and not to push back on your Polamalu call, because I like that, but with the history of great Raider safeties and the ball hawking nature, Ed Reed. Ed Reed would have been badass as a Raider. I even got chills. Ed Reed would have been a perfect Raider. Can you imagine seeing Ed Reed back in the day in the early 2000s wearing silver and black, freaking picking off passes and taking them to the house? Like Polamalu was like because those were the two best safeties in football for years. And Polamalu was like the strong version, the play at the line of scrimmage, the big hitter, the big tackler. Ed Reed was the finesse guy. He was the guy that was the ball hawk, the guy that I forget how many career interceptions he had and all that kind of stuff. But
it's like he would stutter step back there, just waiting. And
he was a center fielder.
Yeah. Yes, and then he would just cut in.
Yes. 100%. 100%. Can you imagine if Charles Woodson and Charles Woodson, Nnamdi Asomugha, and Ed Reed on the same defense? Forget about it. Championships. Anyways, but anyway, what are yours, Raider Nation? Tell us what you got in there. So some players that you think would have been great Raiders throughout history or otherwise. Fabricator Gil on the IE right there with a donation, $20 coming in from our buddy Fabricator Gil. Talked to Fabricator a little bit this week already, and he of course is going to make the trip to Tennessee. And so I'll tell you what, before we move on to the last segment, which is the Sea of Fans mailbag, where we hear from you, because more of you and less of us is a good thing. Let's talk about Tennessee. So
wait a minute.
What?
There's one on here.
What?
There's a name on here.
Oh, Ray or Dan?
No, Marino. Yeah, Marino, your boy.
You mean?
Yeah.
That guy?
Yeah, that guy. The only guy that gets to share the space with Little Murph.
So, all right. So, full confession time. Growing up as a kid in the Bay from San Jose, California, when the Raiders left, we had our feelings hurt a little bit.
We did. We were butthurt.
We were butthurt that the Raiders left, and there was a lot of us that, and I'm a 10-year-old kid or however heck old I was. part of my fandom left. I never stopped being a Raider fan, but I started looking other places elsewhere for players and teams to root for. And Marino played against the Niners in the Super Bowl, and we hate the Niners, of course. So I'm like, all right, I guess I'm a Dolphins and a Dan Marino fan. And then again, all that I just talked about Aaron Rodgers, about being a fan of guys that redefine the position and bring a level of talent that is unprecedented, all that good stuff. That's what Marino did. Marino would have been an amazing Raider. I mean, my gosh.
Well, yeah, but there was a bunch of Dolphins that would have been Larry Zonka.
Zonka would have been
Mercury Morris.
Mercury Morris.
You know,
Warfield.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
there was some Dolphins back in the day that would have had a ball playing in the silver and black.
Absolutely.
You know,
absolutely. But yeah, so anyway, Marino in there. Great. Who was that? Trinidad said that. Appreciate that, Trinidad. Alfred Esparza with Ray, bringing up Ray Lewis. Yeah, I mean, talk about passion and intensity, man. Like, anybody. Oh, Sean Taylor. Let's go. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. Taken way too soon. Sean Taylor would have been is an excellent mention, Capo. Great call out there. All right. What was I going to talk about? I was going to talk about something.
We were heading into the Sea of Fans.
Heading to the Sea of Fans, but I was going to say.
What was it?
Oh, shoot. I lost my train of thought.
Oh, damn it.
I don't remember what it was.
It'll come to you.
Okay. All right. Let's get into the Sea of Fans mailbag.
Stupid.
I'm not stupid. I'm an idiot.
He's baiting, looking. He's under the gun. He's tied. He throws. It is.
All right, while Uncle Mosh is using the repository here in the fan cave, I remembered what it was I wanted to talk about. So our buddy Fabricator Gill in the IE and so many of our good friends and listeners of this show are coming to Tennessee for the Raiders-Titans game. And for those of you that are new to the show, the reason being is that we're from California, from San Jose, as I mentioned, but we have relocated out to Middle Tennessee and have taken our Raider fandom with us. And so anytime that the Raiders come to Nashville to play the Titans, we have a big thing that we like to do, whether that be a tailgate or a get-together or a meetup, or in this case, probably all that stuff. So on Friday, before the game, I know a lot of you are traveling in, so we don't have any major plans for Friday other than just kind of like our families coming in and like that kind of stuff. So we got just a little bit going on Friday. But then Saturday, speaking of Taylor Lewan, my best friend and yours, Swag Jeff, has been talking to Will Compton about their plans for the Raiders-Titans game. And so Will has, on our request, Jeff asked him, can we tag along with your tailgate or whatever your pregame thing is that you're going to be doing before the Raiders-Titans? And he was gracious enough to welcome us to that. So I don't have anything definitive to tell you now, but know this, that probably Saturday or maybe even Sunday morning before the game, wherever the Bussin' with the Boys podcast tailgate is happening, that's where we'll be, which might be in usually it's like the Acme Oyster House downtown, right there across the street or across the river from the stadium. But so anyway, so we're gonna kind of post up where those guys are at, and all y'all come join us. We're gonna have a big RFR meetup, and we told Will we're bringing all the Raider fans with us to come and join up for that. And he said, sweet, because I'm rooting for the Raiders that day, which was badass, man. We love us some Will Compton around here. And
Murph, Swag Jeff, and who's the third guy?
So we appreciate
we all don't love him.
But anyways, and so we're going to have a lot of fun on that Saturday. So definitely look for us for that. And then depending, and again, it's all kind of in flux, depending on whether we do that with them on Saturday or Sunday. If we do that with them on Sunday and we have our big pregame there, then Saturday night, we'll probably do something downtown Nashville. If they do their thing Saturday night, then we'll just see you at the game on Sunday for our own tailgate. I know Gil is coming in. Mojo's going to be cooking. It's going to be epic, and there's so much more still to figure out. But just know this, that weekend in September for the Raiders-Titans game, if you're coming to the game, we're going to have some serious RFR meetup things going on, more than one or two, probably a few, and look forward to seeing all of you very much then. Mosh, We've had some blasts at the tailgates we've done before.
Right.
We've partnered up. We've never had this many people coming in.
This is great. This is
This is going to be incredible.
Speaking of new people,
yes, sir.
PSP Raiderette. Welcome, PSP Raiderette. Threw a $10 donation in there.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
She's going to join in the one chip gang. Bringing it on.
Show her what she can win, Mosh.
She can win either this helmet or this helmet. One signed by Seabass and the other signed by Shane Leckler.
Shane Leckler. There we go. Future Hall of Famers. All right. So there we go. So appreciate you, PSP Raiderette. Appreciate everybody else too. Fabricator Gill's coming in.
He says he's bringing 7.
Oh my gosh, spring 7. See, I'm telling you, we're going to have it's going to be a big one. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be our biggest one probably yet. Vic in Sacramento is in there. Raider Gears and Threads, that's our buddy Jay. He'll be there. Aaron the Q-Dog Raider will be there. Matthew Mangus says it sounds fun. I hope you make it. Trinidad is there. Ebony Graves, hope to see the Graves is there. Chris Rubio is in there. So many of our good folks. Paul. We need to, hey, Paul, come to a game, man. We'd love to meet up with Paul. Wouldn't that be fun?
Paul, what do we got? Buy a ticket, Paul.
It's way
we'll
easier.
Get you a place to stay.
It's way easier for you to come here than for all 900 of us to go to England.
Yeah.
Of
course, that would be fun.
That sure would be fun. And it didn't have to be 900 of us. Maybe it's just you and me.
PSP. Hey, there you go. PSP Raiderette. She says, I'm not in the 1 chip gang. I'm in the 3 chip gang.
Let's go. We appreciate
$20
you.
more dollars.
Oh my gosh. And oh my God. Thank you, PSP Raider. And speaking of $20, Fargo Raider says Bobby Boucher would have made a hell of a Raider. Yeah. Absolutely. What's he saying about that?
It's water. It's a premium H2O.
It's your medulla oblongata, Colonel Sanders. Yeah. All right, let's go. Let's get into these emails. Oh, are you still doing some homework over there?
I'm good. I'm good. I got it right now.
Okay. All right. So this is where we hear from more of you and less of us, because that's a way better thing, because our listeners of this show are what carry this darn thing. We have the best community in all of Raider Nation and all of sports, frankly. And so when you jump in the Sea of Fans mailbag, you can do that in 2 different ways. You can call the show at 909-345-3346. That is 909-345-3346. Or you can email the show at show, S-H-O-W. That incredibly difficult word to spell. That incredibly 4-letter words are not my thing. S-H-O-W at RaidersFanRadio.com. And if you send us an email an undefined amount of times, or you send us a voicemail 3 times and you get it played on the show, we refer to you as a made man or a made woman. And Mosh, we have a made man to celebrate tonight. And so let's go ahead and jump into these emails. And who do you have to start us off?
Murph, Mosh, Swaggo, Capo Nation. First, let me start with some respect. Most other shows give shout-outs. There's nothing wrong with that. But, LOL, how many people think they accidentally started the show over? Damn it, we are never getting to Raider talk. Wait until the Murph math rant starts, but get on with it. Much respect to Swag Jeff for another installment of Summer of Swag. Well done, sir. From back as long as I can remember, I've been a fan of the NFL draft. I even got up early and caught the 9 a.m. start back in the Radio City days, and did some Murph math and thought it was a 6 a.m. start on the West Coast. My friend and I sat outside the bar for 3 hours. Damn, I only watched college football for the scouting aspect. Then, to hear we were getting a draft on our opening year in Vegas, I was jacked. Then the world closed, so I waited. Now it came. I set my time up and time off, and I was all dialed. I was even going to Kevin and Aaron's wedding. Then the owner of my restaurant passed away, so suddenly my plate was full again. Sorry, I missed everyone. Lifelong dream missed. So, now the schedule is out. Nice. With everybody lining up, I can ride a train to Seattle from Portland and fly out to Nashville and get good seats at both games for the same price as cheap seats in the Death Star. So these are my 2 trips. My only question is, where are we making a black hole at Nissan? And lastly, can we get a moment of silence for the loss of Kay Adams from Good Morning Football?
Yeah, sad.
Stacy Rough Raider, longtime listener, lifetime fan, one-time Sizzler Award winner. P.S. Something that's always bugged me, and I've never heard anyone say this. We pile on Callahan for not changing at least the audibles for 2002. We burn a center who was mental trauma just knowing what was about to happen to us that game. Why are we giving the guy calling the audibles and who had as much to do with the playbook as Gruden a pass? Oh. To me, I put Bitch Gannon right alongside of Marcus Bitch-ass Allen as questionable Raiders.
Jeez.
Little along the Raider rant.
Wow, Stacy Rough Raider bringing some thunder there, Mosh.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. All right, so you're a coach. Like, are you're, and I don't know. Well, I mean, you're a coach in many things, but like, I don't know if I hold Rich as much to a high level of accountability because Rich can only do what Rich can do because they're going to give him 2 or 3 plays and then he's got to call an audible out like we're good, or change it at the line of scrimmage. Like, I don't know if I pin that on Rich.
I think I got to put a little on Rich.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why.
Please do.
Because Rich had a relationship with John. And Rich should have known, you know, and because John was known for his relationships with his quarterbacks, and Rich should have known after it started. It was like almost like they were stealing the signs, you know. The pitchers are going to know. Okay, so this guy's laying off my curve. Okay, wait a minute. What's going on? This guy knows a fastball's coming, and he just took
Derek Brooks is hollering out your audibles at you.
Yeah, he just took it yard. Okay, what the hell? So I don't know. I kind of like that. You know,
fair.
Uncle Mosh, you're the smartest man alive.
No, I'm really not. Flights to Nashville, check. Hotel in Nashville, check. Game tickets, check. Time with Raiders friends and family, priceless. See you there, see you.
Is that the one that's the one that tripped you up?
See you there, Raider Nation for life. Arizona Raiders Nation's media and travel team. Raiders gear. Oh, these are hashtags. Hashtag Raiders gear and threads. Jay Jackson. Love it.
Oh,
love it.
Nice, Jay. Appreciate you, Jay, for jumping in here. And so, listen, Mosh, I've got something to say about Jay Jackson.
All right, hit me.
Our good buddy, Jay Jackson, there's the fan over there, for those of you on the YouTubes, to see the Arizona Raider Nation.
Yeah, he sent me a T-shirt one time. I still wear it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Jay Jackson, we met him at the Blitnikoff Foundation this last year.
Super guy.
Jay is a super guy. And you know what, Mosh? He's now emailed the show numerous times. We've met him. Not only have we met him like at Blitnikoff, we hung out with him for a hot minute at the draft this year. He came out to the flag football game. He hung out with me and Swaggo when we went and met Woodson that night. Like, Jay has become, he came to our RFR meetup that we did at the Rockstar Bar. Like, Jay is freaking like representing Raiders Fan Radio in the biggest of ways.
Yeah,
and so let's honor him and make him the newest made man here for Raiders Fan Radio.
You are a made man. You showed you are part of the family by participation. By chance, a man like yourself should make enemies, then they would become my enemies. Showing you are a friend of Raiders Fan Radio, you have leapt across the line. Friendship is everything. Friendship is more than talent. It is more than the government. It's almost equal to family. Be loyal. Made man, Raider fan. Someday, and that day may never come, I'll call upon you to do a service for me. But until that day, accept this as a gift. And don't ever forget, words can hurt more, but silence can break hearts.
All right, welcome to the table, our good buddy Jay, Raider Gears and Threads, Arizona Raider Nation. We appreciate you so very, very much for your support of Raiders Fan Radio.
Love it. Love it. All right. I'm going to apologize now.
Okay.
For this next reading, because if there were a smaller font than 6, you would have printed it.
Before the show, Mosh goes, what, 2 was too high?
2 was taken. You know, my glasses are a 375 for crying out loud. Greetings, Murph, Mosh, and Jeff. I love being able to interact with greetings, Murph Mosh. I love being able to interact with the fan cave on the regular with fun, history, and the elements of the weird. But May the 4th inspired me to chip in with my own Raiders Star Wars connection. Now I wish I would have never read this.
Yes. You want me to take this one?
Before I begin, I must let everyone know that I am close to the age of Mosh. And when I was in high school, I was one of those Star Wars haters. But as I have come to know and love the Raiders over the years, I have come to appreciate the Star Wars connection, which has now been completely validated by Mark Davis, referring to Allegiant Stadium as the Death Star.
Let's do it.
So with respect to Mosh, I have to say I have long since adapted and surrendered to the dark side.
Oh, nice.
Now, obviously, there is no debate about the Emperor. Never has been, never will be, so I think I can easily move on from that. But here is where it gets interesting. For the best pairing of the rule of two, master and apprentice, you have to think back all the way to the beginning when Al took over the team. Who did he handpick to be his first true number one enforcer on the offensive line? And he had to wrestle him away from the rival NFL to do it. It was, of course, probably one of my all-time top 3 Raiders ever. I think I even said that on a program. Gene Upshaw.
Absolutely.
Upshaw became the captain of the team, and he was the guy who would keep all the players in line and remind them about what it was like to be a Raider. And as the team continued to evolve, he was right there, helping guide them to multiple championships. He was the Darth Vader, the Darth Maul.
That's a good call.
If there was ever a question about anything Raiders, he was the go-to guy, and you didn't question Gene Upshaw. And he ended up taking those lessons and principles and becoming the director of the NFLPA. But he was always a Raider until the day he died. So my rule of 2 is Al Davis and Gene Upshaw.
Love it. Most underrated Raider ever, maybe.
Not by me. Now, for the Jedi Council, let's start with Yoda. Here is where I ask the question, who has been there from the beginning? Has been both a player and a coach, has been cool and collected throughout, was always good at holding his tongue and always allowing players to use the force on their own terms, and was the one person who could calmly stand in the presence of anyone or anything. And to top it off, he led the team to not 1, but 2 world championships. And people still talk about him and embrace him today, over 60 years after the start. And he finally got into the Hall of Fame last year after having to wait patiently for years and years. If you follow my logic, you would understand why I'm lobbying for Tom Flores as the Yoda of my Raider Jedi Council.
Dig it.
The Obi-Wan, of course, is Ken Stabler. He didn't come in as a star, even as a starter, but he was indoctrinated into what was to be a Raider by Blanda and Upshaw and Shell and Bolitnikoff and even Jim Otto. He learned what it was to be a Raider, and he was a true Raider in every sense, on the field and off the field. He was a renegade, but he was a leader, and Obi-Wan certainly had his battles with authority, as did Stabler. But Stabler knew his mission and his task, and he came back after falling just short and guided the Raiders to their first ever championship. And in the end, knowing that it was inevitable, he sacrificed himself in trade to another team where he was then vanquished by the Raiders in the playoffs. So Stabler is my Obi-Wan.
Dig it.
As for Mace Windu, I don't have a clue what a Mace Windu is.
He's Sam Jackson.
Oh. I was going
He's the
with
bald Jedi with the purple lightsaber.
Gotcha. I was going with Matt, and I should watch that show sometime. I was going with Matt Millen. He really crafted what it was to be a Raider in the new age. He took the lessons he learned when the older Raiders took him under their wing in 1980 and instantly put them into play for the defense, and he became that unit's leader in his rookie year. And he helped them win a championship. He was not afraid to bloody the nose of a teammate, and he reminded everyone that the motto, cheating is encouraged, simply meant give it all you've got and just get it done. He took the lessons and applied them right away. And who was more loyal to the Raiders over the years than Matt Millen? No one. In fact, Millen even called Al Davis and tried to convince him not to draft Jamarcus, even as he was serving as the GM of a rival team. And Al continued to take care of Matt and his family for as long as Al was around. And Millen, even today, has been a part of the Raiders broadcast team. Other characters, Han Solo, Ray Guy, Chewbacca, Ben Davidson.
Oh, that's what I said.
Ray. Who's Ray?
She's from the sequel trilogy. She's
Derek Carr, The Last Hope.
Oh, okay.
And here's my most interesting one. Luke Skywalker is Marcus Allen. He battled with the Emperor and won, but he eventually went into exile and didn't reemerge on the Raiders scene until many years later. But now he is back and once again a proud member of the nation. And he can pass along those lessons to the new generation of Raider players and fans. So that's it. You can now turn to your regular programming and Mosh can come back to the table or resume listening to the show. THOM, assistant GM to the episode numbers.
Nice.
Good
Appreciate
job,
you, Tom. Good stuff on the Star Wars references there. You love that, Mosh.
I didn't understand most of it. Greetings, everybody.
Hey.
I hope you were all okay and Memorial Day went well for everyone. I'd like to add my best wishes to all those who have served and those that continue to serve. Thank you. Never seems enough. Your sacrifice and courage never goes unnoticed across the pond. Since the last 3 stories have caught my attention, there are lots of theories out there that the NFL was trying to get rid of Mark Davis for whatever reason, whether it's just an age-old revenge mission or because they don't see him as capable of making the most of the Vegas market. There are signs that there could be something in it, and it wouldn't be surprised at all by any of us. We all think that, you know. They're always out to get us. What we have needed over the years to distance ourselves from such thoughts or inferences has been a strong-minded, independent thinking commissioner. But if we're waiting for fairness and equal rights from the current setup, then it'll be a long wait. Let's face it, you couldn't trust Roger Goodell as far as you could spit him. And he's the latest in a line of commissioners that weren't or aren't fit for purpose. Pete Rozelle was a puppet. Paul Tagliabue was as wet as a puddle, and Goodell is so insignificant his own family must think from time to time, didn't we know a Roger? If the guy walked up to an automatic door, it wouldn't open. The one thing they have in common, though, is their hatred for the Raiders and a love of money. So if they and the other powerful owners see opportunities being wasted in Vegas, the Davis name could be under threat. Watch this space. Which brings me unto the excellent Hondo Carpenter, who reported that we came close to being moved at one stage and renamed as the St. Louis Raiders. I'll just pause there for a second to stop myself from throwing up. Apparently, Apparently, a restructured ownership was discussed, plus a total rebrand. Further proof that Mark Davis is under pressure from some dark forces. Then last week, the Raiders opened a huge can of worms by inviting Colin Kaepernick to Henderson for a tryout. Part of Raider Nation went into complete meltdown, and just like... Pardon me.
Switching the filters there, Mosh.
And I know, right? And just like that, Derek Carr became the least divisive quarterback at the Raiders, if only for a few hours. There were many stating that if we signed him, they'd never follow the Raiders again. Strange but true. What can I tell you? I'm very aware that this is a sensitive subject, and I don't want to offend anybody or delve into the politics of your fine country. There are things I'm sure that I'm not aware of being so far away, but my take is this. The guy only came in for a workout. He hasn't thrown a ball in anger in 6 years, so it was sensible to see what he has to offer. The Raiders went about things in the right way, and that could well be all we see of Kaepernick going forward. However, by all accounts, things went well, and he impressed more than a few people. Personally, I don't think anything will come of it, but if it went the distance and we signed him to a contract, it would be with the intention of making the Raiders better, and that's pretty much all I care about. If I have a doubt at all, it would be the media circus that would surround him, being a distraction for the rest of the team. that is probably one of the most profound paragraphs I think I've ever read on the show. Right on, Paul. Seriously.
Good stuff, Paul.
I mean, if you and I had to do if we had to do a synopsis of what's been going on with the whole Kaepernick thing, that's pretty much it, man. If the Raiders bring somebody in that they think can better the game, then bring him in. If the guy hadn't thrown a ball in 6 years, give him a football. Let's see what he can do. And wow, Paul.
You know what defined the Raiders, all these great Raider teams of the 70s and even the 80s and all that? Giving players second chances. That's literally what Al Davis built his teams on.
What did we talk about with Waller? What have we talked about with Crosby? Amen. What have we talked about with... Damn, Paul, you are dead on.
Amazing job. And you know what? And look, and this is Mark Davis putting his money where his mouth is too. He said this, I believe in Colin Kaepernick. He deserves every chance in the world to become a quarterback. I'll stand by it. If our coaches and general manager want to bring him in, I'd welcome him. Then when speaking on the company paid day off that Mark Davis is giving on Juneteenth for all employees of the Raiders, he said, since 2017, I've told the coaches and general managers, if they want to hire Colin Kaepernick, they have my blessing. Look, if the guy can make the team better, it's the Raiders are bigger than the players, right? Like it's yes, we have reverence for all the amazing players that have made up the Raiders over the years, but ultimately it's like it's just win, baby. That's it.
Paul finishes up his thought a little bit here with an epilogue, and it says, again, from a distance, what I saw back in the day was a young guy that had reached the end of his tether and decided to do something about social injustice. He should be applauded for his heart being in the right place and trying to do something positive. Whether he went about it in the right way is a different argument, but from a football perspective, surely he's entitled to try and resurrect his career. I'm saving this.
This is really good freaking email.
Holy mackerel. Paul, congratulations, my brother. That's amazing. As I say, I don't think anything will come of it, but fair play to him for trying out. The Raiders are doing what others are scared of.
Dude, let's go, Paul.
For somebody, why does it take a guy that's 5,000 miles away from us, 5,000 miles away from our shores, to point out the obvious?
Yeah.
God bless this man.
He gets it.
You get to Nashville, brother. I'll put you up. And finally, this week, last show you looked at the new season schedule. It looks a tough one for us, no doubt, but I'm confident we're going to improve on last year and we'll control our own destiny more. I see 11-6. Somebody else said that. With a 4-2 divisional record. We'll sweep one of our rivals, and this year, I think it'll be the who? Chiefs! I still think Kansas City are the team to beat in the division, although they aren't as good as they think they are, and they won't be as dominant. The Chargers have an overrated quarterback and a head coach who thinks he's playing Madden, and nobody else knows who the Donkeys' head coach is. I don't buy into the whole Russell Wilson thing anymore, and without Vic Fangio, their defense would be tested. Expectations are rising, and as the preseason gets closer, the juices will start flowing more and more. It's now only 64 days until the Hall of Fame game in Canton and 102 days until the season opener in LA. I can't wait for it all to get started. Oh, and don't forget, it's June 1st, so something big could be about to happen. Hunter Renfrow's contract? Please be Hunter Renfrow's contract.
Come on, I'm
with
you.
Is it Hunter Renfrow's contract? Please be Hunter Renfrow's contract. Stay safe, RFR family. Love you, Raider Nation. His Lordship, the Royal Scribe, Paul Egerton, Shropshire, Mississippi, Pauly Award winner 2019, Foggy Glasses Award winner 2020, BRT Sizzler scorekeeper, proud made man, five-time. I dropped the ball on that one.
That's okay.
Here we go.
Well, you know why you jumped it? Because he's got a new +1 now, right?
I saw it there, yeah.
Okay.
BRT Sizzler scorekeeper, proud made man, five-time, +1. Winner of the Raiders Fan Radio BRT Sizzler Award. Good.
There you go, Paul.
Wow, that was so good, Paul. Pauly
Paul. Your name, Paul?
Paul. Paul.
I met him with Paul. Who? Paul.
Paul, yes, Paul.
Paul's not here. Hey, Paul. Paul.
Hi. I'm Paul.
Great job, Paul, man. Amazing job on that email, and appreciate all of our incredible emailers to the show tonight, including Jay Jackson, who got himself made by emailing the show. And if you want to email the show, you can do that at show, SHOW, at RaidersFanRadio.com. All right, next up, we're going to get to these voicemails, and then we're going to get out of here for the night, and we're going to give away what. So this is probably last call, huh, Mosh?
Shadoodles. Yeah, I just hit the wrong button.
Oh, no, what'd you do?
I had to restart.
All right, well, we've got some amazing donations in there. I know Pineapple had his $100 donation in there. Fargo Raider has brought a couple different donations in there for $19.99. Talking about Bobby Boucher and Mama Said in there. And so we appreciate you, Fargo Raider, PSP Raider, of course, with that latest $20 donation. And if you want to get in on these giveaways tonight, we're going to give away two mini helmets. So we've got a Sebastian Janikowski autographed mini helmet, JSA certified, and a Shane Leckler JSA certified autographed mini helmet. We're giving those two things away. If you want to get in, let's go ahead and get those donations in now, because we're going to jump into the voicemails. And you can call the show at any time, 24/7, 365 at 909-345-3346. That's 909-345-3346. Leave us a message. We play it 3 times. You become a made man or made woman. And we always start off this segment with our good friend Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, because every crew needs a captain. We call him the Capo. So let's check in with our good buddy Aaron the Q-Dog Raider.
Greetings, Don Murphy, Sizzler Moss, on the boss Sonny, or Sergeant Oz, the Sizzler, Big Raider Trucker, Mojo from the Universe Peace, Ramon the Mean King, Swag Jeff, Wild Raider, and happy belated birthday to Wild Raider. Gemini Raiders Unite. Chuck Splatterhead McCann from the Inebriator Nation. Ron the Mater Raider. Let's get this thing started. Nation. Now, today is June 1st. By now, the Raiders will likely have gained $25 million valuable dollars in cap space, presumably by cutting some pricey players that no longer need to be in our employ. Now, hopefully, this further translates in us to going and getting some free agents on the open market. A lot of talk has been made about Ndamukong Suh, and hey, bring him on. He's got the mentality of a Raider. Let's see if he has the stability to be a champion again. And also, I hope we go out there and we try to get a speedy wide receiver. There's been a rumor, it, for all I know, began on Memorial Day, of being a possible trade for he who is not worthy of the jersey number 24 for Ravens cap casualty safety Chuck Clark. Memo to Dave Ziegler, do the damn deal. Now, there's a lawsuit that I don't know, maybe one or two of you guys possibly have caught wind of, involving John Gruden against the NFL, and could wind up costing Commissioner Roger Goodell his particular job, according to the Man and Ash, the law firm in Las Vegas. Now, Gruden scored a major victory in the suit last Wednesday when the Nevada District Court ruled that his case could proceed in open court rather than through the confidential arbitration process. Gruden's lawsuit against the NFL and Commissioner Roger Goodell is, in fact, the real deal. This case can now proceed in open court and not through that process that I already alluded to. The translation basically boils down to this. The entire situation became a clear and present nightmare to the NFL defendants. Remember, Gruden settled all his claims against the Raiders immediately after stepping down. Gruden then went out and hired the exact same law firm for his bombshell lawsuit against the NFL and Goodell. He also, by securing that law firm, is the same law firm that Mark Davis and the Raiders utilized for their own personal and professional dealings.
Come on.
Now, the timing coincidentally suggests that Mark Davis is supporting this endeavor. If true, Goodell and the NFL should be extra worried, because they're basically not fighting one person in Chucky, but actually two well-funded and aggrieved opponents, one of whom is in the shadows and not technically a part of the lawsuit. Now, Gruden's case survived dismissal. Gruden's legal team can now begin the arduous process of the next step of discovery. Now, let me break this down for you. Gruden's lawyers throughout the discovery phase can demand emails, memos, phone logs, text messages, and even metadata to support their claim. Gruden's team can demand that Goodell sit down and be deposed and give testimony under oath. Oh, it's going down, son. Short of a few procedural maneuvers to delay the process, there's not much the NFL can do to stop this from happening. Now, this is the important part, and I need you to latch on to this. Now, pay very close attention. No company, let alone the NFL, wants a hostile party rummaging through their desk drawers for information. The only way a defendant can stop the discovery process is to offer the plaintiff an irresistible sum of money. Unfortunately for the NFL, that may be a number that doesn't exist because Gruden, he's their worst nightmare because they don't want money. Mark Davis and Chucky, they're out for blood, not cash. A defendant's worst nightmare is simply this, and this is textbook. Now, a plaintiff who doesn't care about the money is the company's worst nightmare.
Yep.
Now, Johnny Depp is my witness. This is a case that's getting interesting. It's being predicted that this lawsuit will ultimately, once again, cost Goodell his job. With adversaries like Gruden and Davis, Goodell faces the discovery effort, and this, no telling what it's going to uncover whenever, Goodell's wrongdoing comes to light. In today's digital world, the same one that took and hung out Chucky to dry, I find it inconceivable that there's not anything, not something out there that couldn't implicate Goodell that might cost him his particular career with the NFL. The scope of discovery is limited to the case at hand, but the discovery has a way of, let's say, finding all possible skeletons in the closet. You don't believe me? Just ask Coach Gruden. Silver linings. For the first time in over 2 decades, John Madden will be returning to the box cover of the hit NFL game franchise named after the Pro Football Hall of Famer. That's right, the late iconic broadcaster, Raiders head coach, and video game personality who passed away at the age of 85 in December. It's been announced that #Madden Day, which signaled the 34th anniversary of the release of John Madden Football. According to the EA Sports website, Madden NFL 23 will have Madden on the cover in 3 unique covers that pay tribute to the different chapters of his particular professional life. Kudos to EA Sports. The hit list: Jonathan Abram, Jackson Mahomes, Roger Goodell, Jerry Jones, Daniel Snyder, Jim Rowe, Mike Wilbon, Jason Whitlock, Insurrectionist, and anybody else that hates females in yoga pants.
I appreciate you, Aaron the Q-Dog Raider. Great stuff, man.
What he didn't. Great job, Q. What Q didn't mention on there is that Goodell. It's hard for me to fathom $63 million a year. Now, right. I know that people there's billionaires and stuff out there, but the man makes over $1 million a week.
That's bananas.
How do you make $1 million a week and set yourself up to be taken down in a court of law by the way he's going to be taken down? How do you set your just desserts? Because everybody, Gruden this and Gruden that, and he pissed away $111 million over that, blah 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 blah. Goodell's pissing away a whole lot more than that. He's pissing away $1 million a week. In the last 2 years, he made $63 million a year.
That's been it's okay. Let me ask you this, okay? Because I'm really trying to wrap my brain around, and I haven't yet, and I'm getting there. The Washington football team investigation obviously revealed some major things
ugly shit, yeah,
some ugly shit, and whether that be from fixing of games of some sort, or gambling, or some form of sexual misconduct, or there's some things in there that came out. So why did the league choose to target Gruden? Now, all this said, then my question posed, I get it why John Gruden got fired. The things that he put in company emails, although he wasn't working for the league or the Raiders at the time, I get it why when that was exposed that the Raiders were forced in their hand to let him go, because those things are unacceptable. But why is it, though, that these things were isolated when there are tons of other infractions that were going on? Because you don't say things like that to people that would maybe not be akin to that kind of commentary. So there's other things. It's bigger than John. And this is the part that I can't wrap my brain around yet. What is the smoking gun? What is the thing that Dan Snyder or the Washington football team or Goodell or the league, what's that one thing? Mosh, do you think that one thing would be something that would compromise the integrity of the league, and then that's why they're willing to take those big swings to try to take out the Raiders? Because I'm telling you, I feel like, and I don't know, I'm just a knucklehead in my bonus room, but this is the tip of the iceberg, man. There's some big shit going on in this league, right?
My name's not Kevin, so I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
Fair.
But I know that FIFA is the one of the most corrupt organizations in the world, and it's one of the largest sports organizations. It's probably bigger than the NFL. Well,
sure.
We're stuck here. Paul could probably elaborate more on soccer, but it's just awful. The corruption there. I don't have any faith or belief in the Olympic committees anymore.
Good point.
What happens is when you're talking $63 million a year, and there's so much money to be played with, and it's money corrupts, and I think that's what's happening. And as I think, because the NFL is worth billions and billions and billions of dollars, and they want to get rid of their people. You want to look like they're doing the right thing. I mean, we could go into social commentary on all this stuff, but I agree with you. There's a smoking gun. I don't know that we'll ever know what the smoking gun is, but there's going to be some stuff that comes out. And
like Aaron said, there's in a discovery phase, and no company wants you rooting through their stuff, because stuff is going to come out, because humans are flawed. And so, and especially in this day and age that we are, where everything is held to the utmost of scrutiny and public. Like, all it takes is one Twitter post, and guess what? Like, you're canceled. You know what I mean? And sometimes you should be canceled for things you say, and then sometimes there's an overreaction or an overswing of the pendulum. And I don't know. I don't have any answers. I'm trying to really wrap my brain around this thing. And I think too that the other thing is that, Mosh, I'm really rooting for there not to be a thing. Like, look, we base our whole podcast and this community of amazing people and all that. It's fostered by this league. It's fostered by this sport and this team. Clearly, our team is being unfairly targeted for a way. But if there's a lapse in integrity of the league, gosh, that's really tough as a fan, man.
But haven't we been talking about that? Didn't Paul talk about that in his rant? Didn't other people? We all said that? We have said that from the beginning, that we are the redheaded stepchild, and that the league is against us. And now that we can prove it, you're going to say you don't want that to happen? I'm saying bring it.
Well, okay,
right,
okay,
right. If we're going to prove that, if we can prove that our
after
coach
all these years,
that our coach was unjustly. I mean, I just read an email that says, they wanted to rebrand the Raiders. They wanted to get rid of Mark Davis. They wanted to move them out of Vegas. All the rules and all the stuff that's been in play that we talk about. My girl, PSP Raiderette, said that earlier. She said, they hate us. She says, they hate Raider Nation, and they use this to try to put a knife in our back, talking about Gruden.
Yeah.
And she's right. I mean, she even says Gruden could have been put through sensitivities sessions. Clearly, there is more to him talking that way for him to think it was okay to do so. Yes, you're right. But for that to be what happens,
that's the thing that took him down.
That's the thing. No, I'm with Q. I say bring it on. And I think there was a lot of us. Q said that from the beginning. We said that from the beginning. What he was accused of doing, what he owned. He never denied what he said. All that. We always said let's hear the rest of the story. Let's Paul Harvey this.
Yes.
And now we're gonna. And if it comes out to prove that the NFL was corrupt in that, we knew that. We as Raider fans know more than anybody. So why is it going to be a surprise? It's no surprise to me. Get his ass out of there. Paul from Shropshire, Mississippi says, I'll do that damn job, and I'll do it a whole lot cheaper.
Let's go. Paul and 23 for commissioner.
They hate us because they ain't us.
That's not what it is.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. They hate us because we is us.
They f***ing hate us because they ain't
Stop
us.
saying that.
Hate us because they ain't us.
All right, let's get on with the rest of these voicemails. Let's check in with our buddy Mosh. We got to meet him at the RFR meetup out there in Vegas. Let's check in with our new friend of the show, Cool Cody.
Hey, this is Cody Thompson, a.k.a. the Cool Cody. Calling in here a little late on the schedule release, but excuse me while I put my Raider-colored glasses on. But I'm looking at this schedule and, I mean, win.
Sonny.
Oh, there's a win. 16-0, baby. Calling it right now. What else can I say? The Chiefs, the Chargers, the Broncos. Go Raiders.
Nicely done, Cody Thompson. Great job there, buddy, and look forward to meeting up with you again in another game or a meetup. And yeah, F all those people in those teams. All right, next up, let's check in with our buddy down in Houston. We call him the Historian because he always offers up some amazing insight and knowledge into the history of the Raiders. He's our good buddy, Houston Raiders Steve.
Murph, Mosh, Swag Jeff, Nation, made men and women. Houston Raiders Steve. Just going to say, I love the draft that the Raiders had. Of course, we have to remember Devontae Adams, kind of player he is. Man, he's just the best. What can I say? Dylan Parham, offensive lineman, Memphis. He's going to be competing against Andre James. You never can have enough offensive and defensive linemen. That's where you win games in the trenches, we all know. Samir White, running back, Georgia. Man, he's going to be a great addition with Kenyon Drake and also Josh Jacobs and everything if Jacobs doesn't renew in 2023. That was round 4. Round 4, we also got Neil Farrell, LSU defensive tackle. He's going to be great in the competition and everything. Like I said, you need as many players as
It ain't Farrell.
as you can. Round 5, Matthew Butler from Tennessee. Man, he's going to be really good and everything from everything that I'm reading about him. Round 7, Thayer Munford, offensive lineman, Ohio State. They really recruited him. Man, 6'6", 320 pounds. He's going to be a beast, man. He's in their road grader, as we call it. Round 7, can't have enough running backs. Britton Brown out of UCLA. He says the Raiders are a great organization. He's going to make it probably as a practice squad player. We have 4 players. Actually, we have 20 players, but the people I looked at, you can look this up. Linebacker Luke Masterson from Wake Forest is really great. Sincere McCormick, UTSA running back, great player, 100 games, 18 games, 100 more yards. Safety Isaiah Palomalo, USC Trojan, started 29 or 32 games, and defensive end Jack Van Valkenburg, Iowa, 20 players. Goodbye.
All right. Good stuff from our buddy Houston Raiders Steve. Appreciate you, Steve. Hey, so in the chat room there, Big Raider Trucker is in there, our good buddy Emiliano. First off, he says he's got a baby update. The baby's doing good. That's always amazing to hear. But then he also says Boston in 6.
Will you stifle yourself?
Shut up!
All right, let's check in with our buddy. He calls himself the northernmost Raider fan. He is our buddy Kiljadis up there in Alaska. Mosh, not put my thumb on the scale.
Just play the damn thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time to start the show, starting Schmucky, the Raider Bear.
Nice.
Schmucky Bear is drunker than the average bear. Schmucky Bear is always in the police's hair. At the nosebleed section you will find him there, chugging down more beers than the average bear. He will sleep till noon, but before it's dark, he'll maul all the bad things fast before they disembark. Schmucky's more notorious than a billionaire. That's because he's Schmucky, the Raider Bear.
Schmucky, the Raider Bear Show is brought to you by these wonderful sponsors. Tim Brown Brownies. When you're looking to find a quick way to end the munchies after smoking some hooch, throw in some Tim Brown Brownies. Only 81 calories to give you a full-bellied reception. Kellogg's Crosby Crunch. Looking to sack your hangover or strip fumble your condor size of a hunger away in the morning? Pour a bowl of Crosby Crunch. Part of this complete breakfast. Cars. Whether you're trying to check down to the next town, or if you're trying to go long across the entire country, go to Derek Carr's car dealership.
I love
Complete
it.
with insurance just in case your car fumbles a tire along the way. 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Stop over to Carr's. Jack Tatum's Hennessy. When you want to completely knock out your entire weekend and not remember a darn skibbity thing until you wake up on Monday, pour a glass of Jack Tatum's Hennessy. Jack Tatum's Hennessy. It'll help you get through the off-season. Tired of slow internet? Need something fast? Then join the Cliff Web branch. Higher speeds than all the other internet plans combined, but a quarter of the price. Downloading kills internet speed, but not Cliff Web Branch Internet. With Clip, speed always kills. Slim Jims. When you want spicy in life, never do a Slim Jim. A special thanks to all these following sponsors: Davis and Long Barbershop, Willie's Mother's Day Emporium, Lester Hayes' Sticky Icky Hash, Allen's Auto Parts, Mad Bomber's Hot Sauce, Snake Pit Barbecue, Madden's Tough Actin' Tinactin, Woodson's Whiskey and Wine, and of course, our prime sponsor, HR's Tax Agency. When it's third down to get your taxes in and you might not make it or have an audit coming your way, don't settle on punting your refund away. Go to HR Tax Agency. Hunter's agents look forward to giving you a big gain of money and a first down on your next year's taxes. HR's Tax Agency. You'll always want to go third in Renfrow. Now, on to the show starting Schmucky, the Raider Bear.
Oh my God.
Admit it, guys, you'd watch the crap out of this cartoon.
I love the HR taxes.
I know, right?
Oh, Fargo said that. Yeah, love it. Oh, good job, Kill Jadis.
Amazing job, Kill Jadis, man. Love it, man. Love it. The creativity that comes from our callers is absolutely incredible. And we thank you so very, very much. All right, one more to get to. Then we're going to do our Sizzler Award, which goes out to our best email or phone caller of the week. Then we're going to give away these 2 mini helmets before we tap out for the night. So the finish it off tonight with the email, or excuse me, with the voicemails is our good buddies out there in Fremont, California. We call him the main guy. It is Daniel and Matthew Mangus.
Alrighty, bro, I've got it. Hamill, check. Nails, check. Shelving, check. Gemini Man Award, tag team belts. Yeah, let me... Oh, no way. What? Belts are gone. What? What do you mean our belts are gone? Yeah, they're not here. I took your belt sign. The Karaoke Kid? Oh, hell no. Hell no. Coming for our belts, motherfucker. Oh, yeah, that's right. Happy Fanny Awards. This is your reigning, undisputed Gemini Man Award winners, the Twins. And we have a message for the Gemini Man. And we have a message for the reigning, undisputed Gemini Man Award winner, the Karaoke Kid. We're coming for our belt. If you ain't down with that, we got 2 ones for ya! Suck it!
Oh my gosh! So the main guy are clearly referencing So we have an award show that we do here every year called the Fannies, which is coming up here in a few weeks, and so we award a Gemini Award, which goes up to the greatest pairing, right? And so you would think that Twins would win that every year, but they didn't. It was the Raider Karaoke Kid that won it last year, so that is their threat to the Karaoke Kid. So anyways, we appreciate you, Mangus Brothers, and thank you to all of you that called tonight. And hey, look, all you got to do is call and leave a message and get it played on the show 3 times, and you can get made.
Get made, bitches. Get made, bitches.
Man, so tonight we started off Stacy Rough Raiders email. Fantastic job, Jay Jackson. Fantastic job, and he was also
so
made.
good.
T-Hom. Love T-Hom.
Strong T-Hom.
Paul. Unbelievable.
Wow,
Unbelievable.
Paul.
We're gonna talk about Paul's email in a second. Probably, like I said, the best 126 words ever written to this show. And then our voicemails. Q-Dog killed it. Absolutely killed it. Just phenomenal. I don't know where he has the time to think up all this stuff because he's always dead on. Cool Cody. He beeped out salutations to all of our rivals. Houston Raider Street Steve gave us a fantastic draft rundown. Kill Jadis came in strong with his Smucky song, his a new take for him. I loved it. I loved what he did.
Good. So
and then
good.
the man guy, the Karaoke Kid challenge. The gauntlet has been tossed down. And so in a surprise, in a huge upset tonight. Sorry, Kill Jadis.
No way.
No, I'm just kidding.
Sizzler.
Sizzler. Sizzler.
Sizzler. Sizzler.
Kill Jadis, you did an outstanding job. I appreciate that. I was gonna mess with you a little bit and say that we gave it to the Karaoke Kid for his swag song, but the swag song is going to be incorporated into the rest of the summer of swag. So
absolutely.
it wasn't eligible, but fantastic job. Loved it. Love the creativity. Appreciate you a ton. And with that being said,
we are Metallica, and we are here for your Oakland Raiders!
You know why we out here, and we ain't playing around today!
From The Walking Dead to errant Jedi Knights, Raiders fans are a rogues gallery.
Condor.
Well, you know what would have happened if you wouldn't have given Kill Jadis the sad sack.
I loved it. I
wouldn't
loved
have
it.
given him the award. Yeah, he would have been the sad sack eternal winner. Is what would happen there. Yeah. So congratulations, Kill Jadis. That was epic, dude. That was
so
that
good.
was great.
It was so good.
So good to hear that. And to all of our callers tonight.
Oh my gosh, what a night! Started it off with the summer swag song and ended it with the gauntlet being thrown down by Karaoke Kid and everybody in between. Fantastic
job. And don't you know, I went ahead and I won't play the whole thing now, but I had to go in and clip out this because that is so freaking funny.
Schmucky Bear's drunker than the average bear.
I love it, man. It's so good, that theme song, man. So Kill Jadis, you crushed it, my friend.
Such a good job.
Stuff.
Keep him coming, Kill Jadis.
Keep them coming. All right, Mosh, let's give some stuff away.
Oh man. All right, so we raised over $600 tonight.
No way.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's freaking go, man. Thank you so much. Hey, seriously, before we get too far, PSP Raider out with a $10 donation.
Done.
Here at the end, let me just throw this so much crazy respect to all of you that have donated tonight. Let me tell you real fast while Uncle Mosh is tallying us up here. 100% of your money goes to the One Nation Foundation. That is our nonprofit organization that we formed when we figured out we could make money with this show. We give 100% of it away to Raiders-related charities, mainly the Bolitnikoff Foundation, which helps a place called Tracy's Place of Hope that was built in honor and memoriam of Fred Bolitnikoff's daughter, the legendary wide receiver who lost his daughter at a very young age under tragic circumstances. And so at-risk young women, this gives them a place of sanctuary, gives them a place of rehabilitation, and that's what all this money is going to go do. So despite all this silliness and all the what we do here at Raiders Fan Radio, we know that every single penny that you give us, we give that away, and we're going to give it away at the annual Bolitnikoff Crab Fest coming up this December. And we don't do that without you. We always say it and truly mean it. We are the vessels. We're the guys with the microphones. You are the ones that facilitate this. And so thank you from the bottom of our hearts, the kindness and generosity that you give us here at Raiders Fan Radio.
That was very, very well said, Murph.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate that. So I got, like I said, we went over $600 tonight.
So cool, man.
All right, so how we do this is I've got a bucket, a Raider bucket, and I've got these chips. They're labeled. This one's number 1. This is Q-Dog. He was the first one to throw in.
Okay.
He's in the bucket. Tyrone Graves with a couple of them. The Manguy, Daniel Mangus with 11 of them in there.
Oh, they went big.
He went a whole bunch of different times. He popped in. Kill Jadis got a chip. Big Shane in one shot, $100. 10 chips.
You,
Ebony Graves got to throw in a couple of chips in there. The other Manguy threw in 10 chips.
Let's go, guys.
Throughout the evening. I think you helped him out on one of those.
Yep.
Trinidad, bumping in a single chip in there, loving it. Joe XT, 2 chips. Pineapple, 10 chips.
Oh, nice pineapple.
John Ogle, 4 chips.
Thank you, John Ogle.
Freddie Chavez throws in a chip. Fabricator Gill, a couple of chips.
Thank you, Fabricator Gill.
Our girl, PSP Raiderette.
Yes.
Who's in the running for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah. Oh.
Absolutely,
That's
100%. I got it already written down.
You already written down.
I took care of it.
Okay.
4 chips. And then,
PSP Raider,
and then Fargo Raider got all his chips in there. And now I'm going to mix them all up. You can hear that on the podcast. And I'm sticking my hand in there and mixing them some more and throwing them all around.
Are you drawing or am I drawing?
No, you're drawing. You're going to draw. Just go in there. They've all been shaken and moved and shaken all around. Hand it to me. This first one is for
where's my fist? There it is. Okay.
Sebastian Janikowski. And it is number 7.
Number 7.
Matthew Mangus.
Hey, Matthew! Congratulations, buddy.
Is that Seabass right there?
Let's see.
Is that the right helmet?
That is in fact, that is Sebastian Janikowski. There you go, Matthew Mangus. That's going to be, there's the signature right there on the mini helmet, and we will get that sent to you, of course. And I love Uncle Mosh's touch. He always throws in the poker chip for me to send that to you as well. So awesome. Congratulations, buddy.
There you go. Next one up.
Okay. There it is.
All right. And it is number 5. Big Shane with his $100 donation.
Big Shane.
Big Shane. There you go.
Nice.
Man, we appreciate everybody. This stuff. Okay, so Big Shane and Matthew, you got to go ahead and email Murph.
Yes, please.
Pardon me. Email Murph at
show
SHOW at RaidersFanRadio.com.
Yes.
And give him your mailing address, and he will send that to you. Matthew says, yes, my favorite Raider.
Oh, love that, Matthew. And you know what's cool, too? Big Shane won Big Shane.
Oh,
let's go, right? How
that
fun
is
that?
so crazy
Yeah,
cool.
That's so cool, man. So
okay,
anyways.
so next week we are back. We are going to go.
Yes.
We'll go next week, and then we're going to be off for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
So I won't be here because I'll be fishing in Arkansas.
Yeah.
I'm going on my yearly trip. We're going after some trophy trout up there in the wilds of the Arkansas mountains.
Nice.
On the Norfolk River. And I'll be I'd say I'll be listening, but I won't.
No, you won't. You won't be listening to a darn thing. You'll be listening to your fly hit
I'll be listening to the fly hit the river.
So, yes, we're going to come back next week. So here's what we got going on, Raider Nation. So next week is episode number 249. And so first off, thank you again for all those donations. I can't wait to get those 2 mini helmets out. Next week, this is what we're giving away. So me and Swaggo will be here. This is an autographed Nate Hobbs jersey. This is the AFL version of his jersey. It's not even the freaking color rush thing. It's an actual
it's the jersey.
AFL jersey, even though Nate Hobbs didn't play in the AFL, but you with me though. But it's such a cool freaking looking jersey. It's the white for those of you that on the audio podcast, you can picture it in your mind. It's the white with the silver numbers and yes, and we wanted to have not only a reflection of recent Raiders, but freaking legendary Raiders like LaMonica, of course, the recent Raiders like Seabass and Leckler, but also new Raiders we have with Hobbs, and then we have the Hunter Renfrow helmet that we're going to be giving away also, but that will be for the fannies that we're going to do the Renfrow. So, anyways, thank you all of you so much, very much tonight for those donations. Look for us next week. Then we're taking 2 weeks off, like Mosh said. We're going to do a little summer vacation, and then we're going to come back for episode 250, and we're going to be celebrating not only 250 of Raiders Fan Radio, we're going to be celebrating 10 years of Raiders Fan Radio. We're going to be celebrating 3 years of Swag Jeff, and we're just going to be celebrating the generosity of our Raiders Fan Radio family. And we thank you so very, very much. And that's all I got. Hope you all have a great, safe week. We'll see you next week. Uncle Mosh, take us home.
Man, what a great show, guys. We appreciate you all, and we look forward to it. Paul will probably be reaching out to you a little bit, talk about some of the fannies stuff. We appreciate your help on being the guy that has the ins and the outs, so to speak, on who's done what. And man, everybody had a great night. Be safe out there, boys and girls. Go give blood. There's lots of folks that need it. We'd like to thank you all for listening tonight. For our little buddy that's not here, Swaggy J, you got my nephew, my real-life nephew, Murph, over there, and you got your old Uncle Mosh on this side. And you've been listening to Raiders Fan Radio, where we take a lighter side journey into the dark side. You know, what happens in Vegas started in Oakland. Don't worry about the horse being blind. Just load the wagon. Congratulations, Coach. R.I.P., brother. Adios, malingerers. What is that? A donkey is a donkey. A Muppet is a Muppet. Pick a lock. Who said that?
I don't know.
That's a good one. I don't know why I wrote that down.
That's funny, though.
That's really funny.
Oh, my gosh.
Good night, everybody. God bless.
Good night, YouTubes.
Schmucky Bear is drunker than the average bear. Schmucky Bear is always in the police's hair. At the nosebleed section you will find him there, chugging down more beers than the average bear. He will sleep till noon, but before it's dark, he'll maul all the bad things fast before they disembark. Schmucky's more notorious than a billionaire. That's because he's schmucky.